Okay, guys, we are live. So, for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master this evening, or this afternoon, or this morning, or wherever this finds you, wherever you're listening. Today, we are continuing on with episode 4 of our mini quarter. What is it? The Quarantine Crusaders campaign of playing Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Second Edition using the 2013 release of The Legacy of the Crystal Shard. And with me, we have the stars of the Legacy of the Crystal Shard campaign, or mini campaign. I'll go the order that I've got you guys in, and for those who may be noting that, oh boy, there's some different faces we've got, or at least there's fewer faces, that's because this game has a rotating cast. We have different people playing on different days, whoever is able to make it, whenever they want to escape the tedium of the current quarantine period. They're welcome to join us in the Icewind Dale, though I think that they will quickly find that things are not nicer in the Icewind Dale. First up, I've got Mo. Who are you? Who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Morris from the UK. I'm playing Thomas, who is a refugee from the south. He's the second, third, or fourth son of a very minor family who's left to avoid political entanglements, and has found we have a lot of political entanglements up here.
Very, very true. Next up is Brandon.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I'm playing Grim, a self-taught wizard with an unfortunate illusionary affliction.
Yes. And next up is Hobbs. Oh, you might be muted there, Hobbs.
Hello, I am Jason Hobbs. I am playing Store, a professional soldier and poor gambler.
You know what's great, Hobbs? So where you're sitting on your shirt, all it says is Hobbs. So it looks as if like you need to have your name on your shirt so you remember.
Wait a second.
That's great. Why don't you give us a quick look at that awesome Hobbs and Friends video? Hobbs and Friends.
Yeah, boy.
Pretty awesome. That would be, of course,
Sweet.
from Hobbs's world famous Hobbs and Friends podcast.
Internationally known.
Damn right. Next up is Arlen.
Hi, I'm Arlen. I'm playing Gorwin, who is an elf. He's a fighter and something of an academic.
That he is. And last but not least is Andrew.
Hello, I'm Andrew, and I'm playing Kola, a rugged dwarf cleric who is returning home after a long time away and finding that, things don't look like the way he left it.
Yeah, definitely not. And incidentally, the last thing we left off with was a little bit of chatter from Helda talking about this black ice, and I just wanted to clarify that you never heard of this stuff before. Like, this is not something that is as endemic to the Dwarven Valley. This is some new thing, and apparently a bit of a craze amongst the dwarves when you were sharing a drink with her in Kelvin's Comfort. So, before we dive into the events of today, and the day today is the 26th of Eliant, so we are getting closer to High Harvest time, which is the festival day at the end of the month, and it will also be the election for the new speaker. But what happened last session, guys?
So the whole party went to the Northlook Tavern, where Store met Jabari, who's sort of another mercenary who had been guarding caravans and stuff, and talked to him for a little while. And then eventually Store and Tom and Lex all went upstairs to talk to Slim. And that conversation went very well, by which I mean they eventually got a little bit of money out of Slim, but not nearly as much as they were supposed to. We have decided that Erlich was the name of the knockoff Melnimodian. Yes, Erlich. Has passed on, and so another character joined our party named Grim. And then we went and basically we were going to procure sleeping arrangements at another inn, but then there was a warehouse fire, and there was some sort of like alchemical or magical cause to a warehouse that turned out to be owned by Donovan the merchant, secretly.
Yeah.
Which he was targeted because he had procured silvered weapons for Mithran, the cleric, who is worried about lycanthropy in Bryn Shander. So we went and talked to Donovan the merchant, and we convinced him to offload the silvered weapons to us, and he wants us to guard another of his warehouses tonight. We also talked to Helga, the dwarf merchant, about traveling to Dwarf Valley tomorrow morning, and we still need to convince the speaker, Duvessishane, to exile Hengar instead of executing him, basically. And we got to the speaker's palace, and there was an angry crowd outside who's demanding that she do something about the terrible events afflicting Bryn Shander. So that's kind of where we are now.
That is correct. Anything else to add, guys?
Well, we got the impression that Slim may be affiliated with the Weirs or some description. We certainly got that impression from him.
I got that impression too.
And he's a nasty piece of work who needs to
Yeah.
be found in an alley someday.
Yeah, I kind of want to take him down.
All right. So then, guys, why don't we pick up with you guys walking into the... oh, and you had also made arrangements to leave, I believe, tomorrow morning, so the 27th, to head out with Helda, the dwarven merchant who had accompanied you guys up to Bryn Shander from... Luskan. All right, so you can see that there is, this small crowd of it looks like mostly tradespeople, to be honest, who are sort of agitating that something needs to happen, and but the noisiest ones within there are one or two merchants, who seem to be kind of like getting the crowd ratcheted up. The guards from the town militia, or the ones that were watching the house before, are now actually all, for the most part, outside. What do you guys do? It's not really, at least from the front, there isn't really an easy way to gain access here.
So is there a back door to the Speaker's Palace?
You could try and look around for it.
Okay.
We'll case the joint.
Okay. What you find is that there is, if you make your way around to the back, there is like a service kind of, entrance, but there are guards posted there as well too. And the alley access to it, they sort of, when they see you, they sort of gesture like, no, go on. They haven't spoken to you yet, though. They're just sort of waving you off.
Does anybody else recognize the guards? I know I wasn't there, so.
I'm not sure they only really met maybe two people, and they're probably the ones that are out front. So you guys haven't met them. What do you guys do?
What do you guys think about this? I mean, we could just go. If all the guards are busy here, this would be an opportunity. We don't even have to talk to the speaker. We could just grab Hengar.
Let's do it.
That seems like a bad idea to me.
Well, let's go. Well, maybe not. We could go check it out, see how the...
I don't know. What do you want to do here then, Gorwin?
I would rather try to talk our way inside through the kind of back entrance to say, like, hey, we're here on official business with the speaker. We need to get inside to talk to her.
Did we have any sort of like symbol or sign or code word or some sort of way to indicate to the guards that this is true? Otherwise, they might just treat us like every other person out here.
I don't think so. Last time we were basically brought in on the basis of the guards kind of recognizing that we were the ones who fought off the Yeti and saved a bunch of guardsmen before. So seems like maybe we could, see if these guards recognize us as that group, or
Fair enough. For all we know, one of them could be one of the fine gentlemen who bought us rounds of alcohol the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Or at the very least, we could ask them, if there's something like, if they recognize us but they still won't let us in, we could ask them about what's kind of going on. Is there like a meeting happening right now that is, we're not allowed to be privy to, but Duvestishane's doing something, or I don't know, but it seems like if we don't ask them, we don't have any information about what's going on.
What do you think about trying to mitigate the rabble out front?
Or we could agitate the rabble out front. Start a riot, sneak in. Just suggested.
So agitating the rabble out front, I'm gonna suggest we don't do that. Mitigating them, I guess I'm wondering how we would do that.
Well, they obviously are all worked up about what she is supposed to be doing. So if we actually talk about what she has done, or the good things that she's accomplished, or made it so it's some of the people, change the feeling that's out there somehow.
I think
That's
certain.
Mo, I think your audio went kind of wonky again. You sounded very quiet.
Sorry, move my head. Who's the best person at public speaking?
Not me.
Store, I think.
Has been our...
Yeah, and just a reminder too, like this isn't like Pathfinder where you're just going to make a skill check. Like if someone's got a good charisma, that's going to set a rough reaction from the crowd based on what their pre-existing kind of disposition is. But it's everybody can feel free to role play.
Because we could kind of spread out amongst the group and shout down the negatives with positives, with the standard being that how long they've been here, how successful Bryn Shander has been since. What are you laughing about?
No, I because in my mind immediately goes to like a reverse protest where people are like protesting like, he's really handsome, he's pretty great.
That's what I'm.
Boy, things are terrific.
About, yeah. And then if it boils down, then the chances of us getting in to talk to Duvessa are better. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think that Story, you're originally from a place that is much more used to regular public displays of dissatisfaction with the ruling
Ships.
authority. Yeah. Because I mean, like the thing with these with even the ships in Luskin is like they can't just always answer everything with an iron fist because you will lose the people who support you. They'll go support another ship, and another ship will, so. Not every protest ends in, and not even most ends in some kind of riot or violence or whatnot. This could just be people blowing off steam.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was wondering if that would be a good idea to
try
and calm down and send them home with with violence and threats, but with counter argument and support.
Yeah.
Did we keep any trophies from the Yetis?
I don't know.
think we did we?
I don't know if we need to. I think if we start to just say who we are, then people will be like, "Oh yeah, that's them."
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's been a day, so like they will likely
Everyone's famous for 15 minutes.
Yeah. The 15 minutes of fame are still ongoing.
Well, this is a small town in the middle of nowhere too, so I mean, your 15 does extend a little further than that. This is the small town Texas quarterback who lives the rest of his life, from his high school achievements.
So and then Grimm's like his buddy picking. I was there too. I'm the buddy.
So it seems to me like it might be easier to just talk to the guards here first and kind of see what they have to say, and then if they don't let us in, to go try to deal with the crowd, because dealing with the whole crowd seems kind of like a harder proposition than just sweet talking our way past a couple of guards. But that's kind of my opinion.
Higher reward.
There's a big XP reward hanging over the crowd.
That's fine with me. mean, I have no problem talking to the guards and finding out what the temperature is and maybe what has the people most riled up, if it's the fire or if it's everything or what.
Or maybe we could get them to take a message in, even if they won't let us in.
Right.
The only reason I was trying, not it is the only reason, but one of the reasons for supporting the concept of lowering the or changing public opinion is that we kind of wanted Devessa Shane to continue to be the speaker, was my understanding.
Yeah.
The person we know versus the person we don't. So actually helping that by trying to get more support for the actual election seems like that's what we would want. Because as it is right now, as far as we can tell, all evidence points toward downvote for poor Miss Shane.
My thought is, strange new people come to town, and yes, they're useful, but then they say, I think the leadership is doing a great job. And, what would you say other than like, well, what the fuck do you know? You've been here for 2 days.
Well, the Cole's from here. Store's been here multiple times. We are like transients that move through here, which is a necessary thing for this town.
Yeah.
Sola can even go like, let me tell you about a bad ruler we had 15 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
With my luck, I'd be sitting across from someone who's been here that whole time and go, who the hell are you talking about?
Yeah. But it doesn't hurt to talk to these guys and at least get the temperature of what they think.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
who wants to take the lead on this then?
I will.
You will. Excellent.
Shrugs back his horse blanket, showing off his new wool poncho.
Okay. So you walk up, and what do you like? Again, like they've sort of tried to wave you off. You begin walking towards the guard or the militiaman, and he says, "Hey, what did I say? Out front, go on. There's no deliveries today."
We don't mean to bother you, but we're not delivery people. We're the heroes of Bryn Shander, those who destroyed the Yeti for you, and we must speak to the speaker. But first, I was curious to hear what's going on with the people out front. What's the temperature? We've been busy throughout the day, and I thought that you might have a moment.
He shakes his head. Can you not see that we're busy?
I can see that you're keeping guard here, but I'll stand back. Don't worry about it.
Well, they're upset. You saw the fire last eve?
I did.
You've seen what's going on? You're one of the ones from the last caravan, aren't you?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, so I don't want to speak out of turn here, but there's some who's starting to question whether you were the lot who brought in the bad luck that turns us now. A fire in Bryn Shander, Yeti in the streets of Bryn Shander.
My friend, luck is fickle, and it usually has nothing to do with anyone. I usually
What you
feel
call luck, I call fate. Fate seems to have
crap.
something poor in store for... You came... Wait, you were the ones who spoke to the speaker yesterday.
correct. We were hoping to speak to her again.
He shakes his head and kind of looks back at towards the door leading into the back. He shouts out a name. Another guard kind of sticks his head out. He says, "They're here to speak to see the speaker." And you guys can see that while you're waiting here, there is another merchant who kind of like robe on, hood up, kind of walks up to see you guys. Looks like she's still, trying to maintain business with, the business of the town, but they're just ushering people in through this back door rather than having them go through the front. So he comes out and the guard says, "All right, 3 of you."
I'm fine staying out here.
right.
The merchant who
I'll
walked up.
stay with Grim then.
All right.
The merchant who walked up with the robe says, "I have an appointment." And the guard kind of looks, shrugs, and gestures for the 3 of you guys to head in. So you're led in through the back entrance, and the back entrance is obviously the servants' entrance here. There's the kitchen's back here. There is a way to access a larder. But you were led through a kind of a series of doors that lead out to the nicer part of the residence. But you're not brought to the council chamber, the speaker's chamber. This time you are brought to Speaker DeVessa's private, what do you call it? Private study on the second floor. And as you walk in, you can see she's sort of, at the window, curtains drawn, looking out at the crowd outside. There's lamps burning in here, and there are books from a variety of different places across the realms that occupy the bookshelves in here. As you walk in, she says, I heard you had returned. You best have some good news for me. You best not be asking about that tribesman.
Well, about that.
Well,
I believe that we know who set the fire at the warehouse.
You do?
We have proof that it was arson.
Well, that seems little question. Unless they were storing some kind of alchemical supplies. Who was behind the fire?
A man from Luskin known as Slim and his new band of ne'er-do-wells who have been working a protection racket in the market square.
And what proof do you have of this?
Well, we believe proof is always kind of circumstantial around here, it seems.
Her shoulders kind of slump a little bit.
But we also believe that it's possible they will be attacking another warehouse tonight.
Another.
Perhaps we could get some people, if we could any survive after we guard that place. But I feel that we are going to need to keep Hengar alive for the same reasons as yesterday.
With the mood of the town, such as it is, a decision needs to be made. We gave a stay so that you could investigate what you said was a cult here. You come back and tell me that there is now another problem in town. I take it you have no further information on the cult?
We don't have information on the cult, but Storr did not mention Mithran the cleric has been investigating rumors of lycanthropy, which seem to be directly related to Slim's gang. And that
the Luskins
fire
brought the moon
warehouse-
curse here?
Yeah, they're dirty, bad people. Slim. So specifically, the fire in the warehouse seems to have been arson, partly out of an attempt to destroy a shipment of silvered weapons that Mithran had procured through the merchant Donovan.
Mithran didn't. Arun.
Arun.
Yeah. Who is a stranger. He was someone who came up here as well too. And he
but on Mithran's orders, right? Or
nope.
Because of her concerns.
She was working with him because he was part of the Harpers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I explained that's a little different than what I'd first said, but that the Harpers are concerned about the lycanthropy, and so they brought the shipment of silvered weapons, and that the attack on the warehouse was an attempt to destroy or get rid of these silvered weapons so that Bryn Shander wouldn't have any protection against the lycanthropic gang that seems to be run by Slim.
So there is not only a cult, there is also, you're saying, a gang of foreign infected lycanthropes in my town? If you leave and come back tomorrow, will you tell me there's a dragon in our midst?
If there is,
well, you would probably notice the dragon if it was in your midst.
She looks out the window again. She says, "This is not a tenable situation. I need to make some... I can appreciate your accusations, but we have a convicted thief who has been sentenced by the sheriff, and if I continue, the sheriff's support in the coming election is an open question at this point. And if I further defy him, I fear that I will drive him further into the hands or into the camp of my rivals. I'm sorry, but the execution must proceed.
So the option of the banishment is no longer on the table?
Banishment at this point, how would I sell that? And he gestures to the sound of the window, and you can hear the sound of people all shouting outside. They need satisfaction of some kind.
They're going to be a lot worse off if the Ragged Tribesmen decide that you killing one of their own is cause for war, though.
At times like these, do you think that they spare a thought to tomorrow?
I think that if they truly believe that this Ragged Tribesman has brought what accurses them, surely they believe that the curse will not leave just with his death, that it may be prudent.
She shakes her head. She says, your people may not be like ours. The mob, the rabble, the panic that comes with such times, it cuts through us as surely as what a disease would. And Story, you've seen something like, you've seen stuff like this. One of the reasons why the Pyrelords remain in power in Luskan is through this kind of manipulation of the crowd, like panic and fear of the enemy and othering and whatnot. That's all standard fare for those kinds of tyrants. And here, this is a very scared, very isolated community at the very start of a very, very bad winter, and it seems like they've got the rabble at least has in their mind what's going on, what's to blame for this. So
I think so. Cola is probably. Is there any window nearby?
Yeah, that's what she's. The curtains are drawn. She's been sort of looking out of that.
Okay, I think Cola's probably stood off to the side and has been looking out the window for the past couple minutes, hands clasped behind his back. She raises a point. Our people have always been supremely superstitious. Whether even banishment, I don't think that this would do well to quell the crowd outside. I don't think that the crowds would be swayed by such a gesture. At this point, I think they would simply assume that we're giving in and that our priorities are not straight. I don't like it any more than the rest of you. But maybe on this particular issue, there's little that can be done. Maybe we just allow what will need to be for now. As much as it pains me to condemn a man, but maybe we allow this, and we focus then, once the crowds have been sated, their bloodlusts, sated anyway, for the immediate future, then we turn our efforts to resolving the actual underlying issues that are the real threat. And I just get very quiet after that, given the weight of where my heart is lying on this. And as a cleric, this is very painful for me to be admitting.
Now, one thing that Story as well is that Devessa Shane's not wrong that the crowd, like when it's spread like this, it's very easy to for them to get fixated on something and to the point of irrationality, Gorwin. Like it just doesn't reason and forward thinking and things like that, the things that would persuade an individual, just doesn't really work on the mob. But compelling narratives are something that work on a mob. And Story, you've seen that happen. You've seen skilled orators turn a angry crowd on a dime, it's where they showed up being angry at someone to instead be supporting that person and blaming some other source, or or just redirecting the energy of that crowd, or of that panic. Deshane maybe just is not, or Devessa Shane may not be thinking of things in that terms right now, because she's clearly, under siege and facing of an election very soon. But you, as someone outside of that, you've seen this work before. So if there's a way of redirecting the ire of the mob,
Which I think there is.
Okay.
Then please tell me, because I don't want to give in to this fear. I don't want to give in to the crowd's fear, the city's fear. I feel that their energies need to be directed towards resolving the actual threats that lie at their doors.
Well, I think it's obvious that foreigners have come, and all of these merchants are familiar with those who are seeking protection. So if we can say where the actual fire came from, and how the speaker and her chosen marshals are dealing with it, then maybe we could turn the crowd to against our foes as opposed to against our allies.
We're going to need the most solid proof of these claims. There cannot be any room for error here.
I'm not sure proof is always what is necessary for a mob. Just the right words.
And we need a convincing story.
Well, we do have a dead member. And worse, the mercenaries have to be familiar with what's happening in the marketplace, just like the apothecary is.
So what are you guys thinking?
We could go. I mean, can we fill? Does Devessa seem like an expert orator when I speak of it in this way? Because we're obviously standing there when she is talking.
Okay. Oh, you're talking with this with her. Okay.
Yeah, I guess so. Because I'm assuming it's Gorwin, Store, and Cola who are there in the room. So I'm bringing it up that we could actually turn the crowd against one of our enemies.
She says so the time of day, it's you guys did sleep in a bit because you did have you were up all night fighting that fire, so it's probably about 1 o'clock. What she's going to say is that at sundown he's going to be lashed to the pole. She has no other idea right now, but what she'll say is that if you can bring me something by sundown, I will be happy to things. But she has other other appointments she needs to deal with right now. She doesn't have an inkling of how to spin this, as it were. At least what she sees as the most prudent approach is to just let this, lash this guy to the thing and let him die. If there is a cult of Auril, not, killing him is going to do nothing to root them out or anything like that. And all that postponing this guy's execution does is give her enemies more ammunition. So what she will give you guys out of, because you bring up good points, if you can bring something for her by sundown, she will postpone the execution. Otherwise, he dies tonight. Or if, as the rumors say, that the Regid can survive naked, we'll be putting that to the test tonight. So, she kind of, you guys are escorted out. That you hear the door open.
Say one more question, I guess. Does she have access of?
You're Peter Falk. Well, one more thing.
One more thing. I don't know. Is if we bring a member of the cult, do you have the ability to speak the truth or ferret out the truth from them?
I don't, but 1 second here. I just want to confirm something. I think Mithran can.
Do you have a Zone of Truth spell?
Mm.
Well, even if it's not a truth,
Yeah, they
doesn't
don't. They
always
don't.
speak a truth.
Well, there's like ESP. There's some other things that you
That's
can
true too.
to get
Yeah.
information. So
Yeah.
Well, ESP is for listening in, isn't it? It's not for reading minds. I thought that's ESP is just like a what do you call it?
I don't know the exact what the spells do mechanically. These are just thoughts that I have.
Yeah. No, I'm just checking to see if they've got if it's something that she would have. I know ESP is detect surface thoughts. So a wizard, Harry, a wizard could do it.
Not this wizard.
No, but if you can find a more powerful wizard in town.
Kill him and take his stuff.
Yeah, that does not. I have the power. Bless you. Okay, so yes, they don't. I mean, unless you proof that it is easily demonstrable to the crowd is what we will use. I'm finding that Valus Gant has a unique gift for twisting what I see as my successes into failures. So we would need something easy, at least in the public sentiment.
All right then. Wait,
So-
one last. No, just kidding.
One last thing. So you guys are escorted out. You rejoin Thomas and Grimm in the alleyway where you find that that robed merchant is like doing the like arms crossed, tapping his foot kind of impatient thing. And then as soon as you guys get out, doesn't even wait to be instructed by the guards and passes you guys as you're going in. And as you... Yeah. As you guys meet up again, you can still hear them. Now they're chanting out front.
What are they chanting?
They're chanting to do something.
Well, while they were in for this meeting, can we retroactively say that I was looking around to see if there was any agent provocateurs involved in the crowd, or who like I was trying to assess who the ringleaders might be, or
Yeah, what kind of proficiencies do you have?
oh, good question. I have
Yeah, I think
Bunch
Thomas
of-
would have gone with them just to see
Yeah.
what's happening in the crowd, to see
Sure.
if he can pick out.
I mean, like I said, you can definitely see that there are some more well-dressed people who are sort of the spokespeople for the crowd.
yeah.
And that's not surprising. I mean, like the whole economy in Brinchander is based around like the big man or whatever, who's the patron, who's going to be feeding work and whatnot to the people beneath them or supporting them. So yeah, it's not surprising that someone who runs, say, like a scrimshander or a scrimshanding place, or a successful merchant or successful fisherman, that they are able to bring all of their staff with them and all their their hangers on, and they're going to be there with it. So it doesn't take many pissed off men and women of means to suddenly have a courtyard full of angry people.
Totally.
So you guys meet up again in the alleyway. Is there anything else you wanted to try and suss out from that crowd, guys? Grimm and Thomas?
Not yet.
Did we see the cloth merchant who we spoke to in the crowd?
The which cloth? The one that store?
The one that tried to recruit.
Yeah, you guys are talking about the... Okay, so I don't think Thomas was there, so I don't think he would recognize
Oh
her.
no, of course I was. Yeah, outside.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was
we can't
Store
do that
and
then.
Gorwin and Lex who were there. Wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we were just kibitzing and going around the square at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, we'll just be on the lookout for who seems to be the most vocal.
Sure.
I mean, if you've been in a crowd, you normally tell who the ones.
And again, it's the same things I said. Like the information you're able to gather is what you got right now.
All right. So what happened in there? I asked to the. Is he gonna free him? What's going on? This convict.
We have until midnight. No, we have until sundown
Right.
to try to make our...
I have an idea. Hear me out. What if we kill him? I say that because... No, hear me out, right? Like, we're concerned about these tribesmen attacking the village. But if he's dead by some unknown assailant, then that unknown assailant is the responsible party. It's not the villagers who killed him. I'm just saying, as a last course option, it might be worth considering. That's all.
Well, couldn't we like fake his death, and then say we'll just dispose of the body outside and then revive him?
What could
Is there
possibly
some way of
work?
doing that? Could we speak to our apocalypse friend?
Ooh,
Is there something that would make him appear to be dead, but could be easily revived later? And then we could just say, well, we're the brave adventurers. We don't mind going out and dumping the body in the snow, and then we just fix him up and send him on his way with a cloak and a few other bits and pieces.
Not a bad idea. I like that idea.
Yeah, I mean, killing him kind of defeats the purpose of what we've been trying to do.
Well, what's the purpose is to avoid war, as far as I can tell.
Well, and the unnecessary death of a man who for whom it's not necessarily required.
Well, that's a secondary benefit, sure, but like I'm talking the primary benefit is we don't all die by a bunch of tribesmen.
Beginning to remember why I was believed to have parted ways with you, Grim.
Why? They didn't give me this for nothing. Points to his head or her head.
So, Dave, where we are is in the guys just met with Speaker Devessa, Shane, and they are in the alleyway outside. Kind of Kola, Gorwin, and Sor are bringing them up to speed. There's a whole crowd of angry townsfolk outside of the Speaker's palace, and you guys have managed to talk your way past the guards and in through the back entrance where it seems that she's still meeting with people.
Yeah, sorry I'm late, guys. I legit thought this started at noon
worries.
and not 11, and I'm just like working out and doing crap. I could have been here like at 11 easy, but I totally just brain fart.
No problem at all.
What do you guys think about just going after the wool merchant and see if we can get to the bottom of this cult plot now, as opposed to waiting and trying to get in, like force her to tell us somehow, or see if we can get somebody else or find out who other people are, because that would be a way to definitely turn things.
That might be an option. The only concern I have with faking the tribesman's death.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, the problem I'm realizing with that could be that Devessa Shane's political position relies on the town believing that she has enacted justice, whatever form that justice takes, so long as it's something they want. If he were to suddenly die, not by her decision, I don't know that would actually help her at all, and wouldn't necessarily, and it would still leave us in a position where the town is angry, and I don't think I don't know that would resolve the problem.
I think they're going to be angry no matter what. It doesn't really matter. I think it's not going to hurt her too much if some random people take him out. That's...
Well, or alternatively, we just fake it so he looks like he dies of natural causes, and then we just take the body out.
Can Cola cast resist cold?
I don't have that. I think my issue with it is the problem, and the problem here is that the town, his death in and of itself is not sufficient. The town needs their pound of flesh. The town needs to feel like they did this. They got their vengeance. And if he were to die from some natural causes or by someone else's unknown hand, I worry that the town would feel robbed of their justice, however they conceive it, however wrong they may be, and that would only make things worse.
A little bit.
I mean,
not a lot.
Just acting like faking his killing makes no sense. But if he survives the night, does that that means that he is given freedom because of that? If he does survive the night, Kevin?
No.
Okay, no.
They leave him out until he dies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a death sentence. It's not a.
Yeah. Resist cold's
yeah.
not going to help here. Unless
Well,
we have
plus-
somebody who just keep casting it.
To be honest, I mean, if just,
Yeah.
and I think this is what Cola probably has insight on this, that if he survives the exposure throughout the night, and there's talk of Auril around here too, they may just say he's a chosen of Auril. He absolutely has to die. This is why we've got such, the winter has come so early. It's further evidence that these people are all evil. So now we apply axes to heads.
I think this man's going to die one way or the other.
Well-
It's a classic, like, let's tie a big stone to a witch, and if she drowns, then she was innocent, but if she swims, she's a witch. Well, I mean, she's kind of screwed either way.
Well,
I
it
prefer to
strikes
burn
me
witches.
that we need. Thomas is going to say we need a scapegoat. Given that this cloth merchant tried to recruit a store, it could be her, or if we find criminals like Slim, the mob's quite happy to see the ne'er-do-wells and the bad people in town strung up. So we can either find evidence of this cloth merchant who tried to recruit Store. Maybe we get her to repeat the thing in front of several witnesses, or alternatively we find out what's happening with Slim and get some evidence that way, and then we throw him under the bus. Or alternatively, we do with Slim, that he throws some of his less important people under the bus, and we just keep him cowed if we think he's too important to get at.
There was one other thing, guys, that you heard, apart from my dog barking. It is Hannah saying hi. Happy Easter, happy Easter, happy Easter, fuck you! What he also said was there was a half-elf hunter that Brune was familiar with, or at least he knew of, a guy named Aglanel.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently he had a run-in with some thugs as well, too. So I don't remember you mentioning that in the recap, and I thought I'd remember that.
So do we have the silvered weapons? I don't remember.
No,
he
you
wasn't
haven't.
giving them to us until we.
He said you can go and speak to Dulbar, the guy who runs his the warehouse where they're stored, and you guys are free to take them.
What do you think, Arlen?
So I kind of agree with what Kola has said, that it seems like Hengar's gonna die either way, 1 hour or however long it is until sundown, because it's already late in the afternoon in wintertime. I don't remember exactly what we decided, how long it is,
Yeah.
but a little bit
Well,
of time until sundown is
Just
not
because it's
really-
winter, it's still very early in the season, right? Like this is only like mid-September, so you still have until like 6 or so, or maybe 7 until the sun's gonna go
But
down.
if it's like 3 or 4 in the afternoon already,
Yeah, so you got
Yeah.
it's only a few
then
hours.
then that's like basically that's like saying, well, if you can find a miracle, so
Here's another thing, guys. So there is a technique in debating. Did anyone else do debating in undergrad or anything like that? Remember what swirling is?
Well, this is the American shout loads of facts thing. Instead of
No,
a formal debate.
no. What it is you. So what swirling is a thing where you have a canned argument you want to make, and all you do is you just take whatever the presented problem is. I'm going to go deal with her in a second here. You take what the presented problem is, and then you just say, this is just like this, and then present whatever your argument is. So you twist whatever you thought you were talking about, or they wanted you to talk about, to be the thing you've prepared, and then you just present that argument and draw it by analogy.
A reverse straw man?
Basically, yeah. It's a way of
Well-
reframing. They say, this problem of X and Y is just like A and B, and let me tell you why. Because in A and B, and then you just go into your argument. So, what you can do is you guys.
Kev wants to play with lawyers.
Or politicians?
No. It's because I don't want you guys to feel like there is, there's no way to do this. There is potentially a way of doing this. It's just, you need to she's made clear what kind of needs to happen. Public sentiment needs to be swayed one way or the other. And I'm not saying you guys need to stand up and do a debate in this. It's not, debating and diatribes, But what I'm saying is that if there's a way that you guys could squirrel the current problem. Currently, they think this guy's, not only has he killed them, and not only is this, we could divert attention. That's one way that you guys have been talking about. You could also present a different way of punishing this guy. You may need to adjust your timeline, is what I'm saying. Is throwing this guy out in the night in the Icewind Dale is very likely to result in his death. That may fuck up your timeline, but, that is a possibility. And exiles, not all exiles are made equal either. So
yeah, if he was exiled in the morning and he was chased by dogs, like that would be a lot of fun for people to watch.
Well,
Ramparts.
There's a difference between being exiled with your gear and with whatever. That is actual exile. That's go out, don't come back. And then there's being exiled like the way he was going to be executed.
Right.
Yeah, I had assumed that the exile option was going to be he goes out in a potato sack.
No.
And that's about it.
No, exile is what the exile is just don't ever come back.
Oh, no.
This town.
He needs to be exiled with, like, it is very clear that exile is going to be death, same as anything else. But if we were to get him exiled in that way and gave him a point to meet us at, we could, or a group of us could, sneak out of the city through other means and secretly rendezvous with him at that point and give him provisions and clothing to keep him warm so that he could survive the trip home.
Well, there were those shacks that were dotted about that were used as shelters.
That's in the north-south pass.
Right, so
Yeah.
there's none near here. Okay.
No, like travel distances between the different communities. Let's just quickly talk about Icewind Dale quickly so you guys can kind of plan here. Or at least the 10 towns region. So as a refresher, this is the 10 towns in the Icewind Dale. Travel between some of these different locations here. You are at A right now. A is Bryn Shander. To the north is Targos, the closest of the communities. And to get to Targos takes about 2 hours. It's only about 3 miles. So it's a path that leads up there. A little longer in this weather, obviously, but it's not super far away. To get to East Haven at H, will take you about a day's travel, about 7.5 hours. In this weather, probably longer. To get to the Dwarven Valley, there's a path that leads there too. Same thing, about a day's travel. So like, it's not. And then where at least the Ragged tribes tend to congregate is north of Kelvin's Cairn. So that's gonna be a few days travel to get up there. There's also that forest to the south. As well, near, what is that, Goodmead, just north of Goodmead. That's about as far away as what Targos is, so that probably would take a few hours. That might be a place you could hunt.
Yeah, if there were a spot within the forest to the south, if he could get himself there, and then we leave and circle around and meet in the same spot, give him his provisions, give him what he needs, maybe a little bit of gold to hire a boat, he could make his way to Goodmead, hire a boat to take him to, what's J? Caer Koenig. And then from there he'd be able to... No?
No, go carry on.
Because if he could hire a boat to get him down to Caer Koenig, away from all of this, where he's just a man traveling, and then he can find his way from there north to his home. But there would be some there'd need to be some secret and a lot of fancy quick moving on our part to make that happen, and not have this come back onto us. But it would satisfy the pound of flesh that the town is looking to get. Because they would think that there would be no way he could survive, and we would be able to avoid his unnecessary death. But in the meantime, it doesn't help us solve the underlying problems of the city. It delays those issues.
Well, I mean, we don't even have the capability of doing that if we don't do something else first, right? I mean, I feel like we're getting ahead of ourselves, to be honest. Getting lost in analysis paralysis, and what we really have to do is change. Because she said that exile isn't an option unless we can change the feeling of the crowd, right? So that's what we need to focus on, is how we're going to do that.
Well, I would think that changing the mood of the crowd, we don't need to necessarily demonstrate that there's a greater evil. What we could do is try to convince the crowd that there's a more satisfying way to exact their revenge, and that exile in this form would be far worse a punishment than simply being tied to a post, where anyone here would, honeyed words from his mouth could convince some well-meaning townsman to sneak some food to him or to try to help him, whereas casting him out into the wilds where there are yeti attacking wantonly now, the wilds are more dangerous than they have ever been. That is perhaps a more fitting punishment for someone in the eyes of the town. Is that not an argument we could try to?
So another idea. I'm gonna have to run in like 5 minutes, guys. I'm really sorry. But another idea. We know that merchants have been paying Slim for protection, and obviously not getting protection as shit gets worse and worse. Why not just start spreading rumors about Slim and have the guards go, take him in chains, and they can expose him? Store is pretty convincing. He could probably come out and, have a couple of us in the crowd say, like, have you heard Slim is a lycanthrope? And then obviously this is kind of a first pass of the idea, but then Store can say, we know who the real threat is. It's this newcomer from Luskin who is a total gangster and has been doing all sorts of horrible stuff. And you all know that he's terrible because he's been extorting money from you.
And he's not actually protected you. We protected you.
And he's not actually protected you at all.
And then you call
That's
on the
kinda my
apothecary
2
in the
cents.
front of everybody, and they shout it out, and then someone else shouts it out. Right on Slim. Oh, sorry, I'm not there.
Yeah. Anyway.
There you are.
Sorry, I have to run, but it's been fun playing with you guys.
Can't see ya.
Later.
Oh, Arlen's leaving because of me. Sorry.
No, Arlen's leaving because his family's about to do a thing and he hasn't seen them in a while.
See you, Arlen.
Okay. So,
Is Jonathan actually here?
I don't.
He's commenting in the chat.
Yeah, that's what I saw him commenting in the chat. But
Oh, George is watching.
yeah,
Straighten. Hey guys, everyone in chat. Pete's there. Jeffrey's back. Brian's back.
What? I don't get it.
I think George is full-time parenting right now. So
Okay,
it's
fair
yeah.
So he can kind of half pay attention, but he can't actually be actively involved.
Yeah. And it's Sunday. For those listening at home, if you're curious as to why we've halved our party from last week, it's at the time of recording Easter Sunday. So for those listening at home who are celebrating Easter, happy Easter. Guys, why don't we do this? Let's take it's a little early for our for our mid-session break. Why don't we take our mid-session break now? I'll take the noisy pup outside. Oh, and there's an EMS outside of my house. That's why the dog is going crazy. So I think I'm going to go check and see what's going on. We'll take our 5-minute break here, guys. We'll come back, and then we'll figure out what you guys are going to do next. Okay.
we'll see.
Sorry about that, guys. The neighbors are a bunch of students who are they're in from. I don't know where they're from. It's somewhere in the Middle East, and all three of them were just taken away in ambulance with masks and shit like that. And I'm assuming that they've tested for corona, so it's a pretty crazy time. These poor kids, they're dead young too.
Oh man.
Yeah,
That's scary.
yeah, it's pretty fucking terrifying. We know that the police were actually there a couple days ago checking up on one of them because I guess my son overheard them, and I guess that one of them was sick earlier on, and their dad they weren't responding to phone calls, so their dad sent the cops to go check on them just to make sure like everything they were okay and whatever. And today they're all in the back of an ambulance being taken off to the hospital. So scary times. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring a lot of real world problems here, but that's pretty. I've never seen that before. Okay, so we're all back now, guys. Let's talk about the problems of the 10 towns. What are we thinking is the plan here? You guys got a few hours to try and come up with a way of saving Hendar. I get that name right finally? Hengar. Nope, still didn't get it right.
Well, by the time he's dead, maybe we'll get it right.
Yes, his dying words will be, "It's Hengar." So what are you thinking, guys? You're in the alleyway. You have a few hours before you. Let's move back to Bryn Shander, maybe. That gives you an idea of what the layout of the Icewind Dale is. Boom.
I say we get the silver weapons and go after Slim.
Let's do it.
Okay. So yeah, you make your way to the warehouse where Dunovan's warehouse where they have all those things stored, and once you show the what do you call it, the note that Dunovan had written for you guys, he happily turns over the crate of arms. And the crate has 12 weapons in it. Let me put in chat what the things are here. That's what's in there. And of course that doesn't add up to whatever it was I said before, but this is what's actually in there. So, 5 silvered longswords, 3 silvered short swords, 2 silvered daggers, 2 silvered battle axes, and 1 silvered greatsword. Clearly they were expecting to face a small army or expecting to face an enemy that was going to be quite fearsome. The warehouse is located actually not far from where the warehouse was, the burned ruins of that other warehouse. How do you guys transport? Do you just grab the weapons out of it and leave the crate here, or do you transport the crate somewhere? And then who is grabbing what weapons?
Ooh. Might as well just take them, don't you think?
Yeah.
I'll take a silver dagger.
Okay.
I'm a longsword kind of guy. One thing, I might go and visit the apothecary. Can you get us some wolfsbane or something that's known to be effective against weirs?
You mean, wolfsbane is something that's in the player's handbook, I think.
Yeah, I don't know the background. So whatever the folk remedy against werewolves, like garlic, might be for.
I think they said they were
vampires in
wearing
this kind.
rats, probably.
Yeah.
That's the impression I got.
Yeah.
If they were wolves, we're all dead. Like, that's.
Yeah.
We do have acid.
That's true, and you got healing potions as well too from What's his name? Reardon.
Of course, what we really need to do is find Erlich's body, because we're pretty sure that they did.
Because that sword looked pretty badass, and you want it.
It's a two-headed kukri. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, just one question. What's this dead body doing here?
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe he's a lycanthrope now. We don't know this.
What does Cola use?
I would probably be leaning towards the battle axe. It feels very good, solid, and dwarven.
Yeah, and when the Dave can actually inform you about
actual weapon of your god. So yes, very good. Playing it in, it is a dual wielder battle axe god.
Yeah, I mean, I won't take both.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
little
assuming
over.
battle axe is more of a two-handed weapon anyway in this
I
case.
think that the
I think it's one, but it's got a really high weapon speed and
Sweet.
slow weapon speed.
the whatchamacallit, so the Allegor, the especially priests of Clangeddin, I don't think they can use shields. I think it's anathema to their god, isn't that right, Dave?
Yeah, they can only use shields in defense of other dwarves. So if you're like defending a dwarven community, or if there's dwarves behind you or part of the party that you have to try and protect, you can use a shield. But otherwise, yeah, it's recommended to use battle axes and hand axes.
Well, that does it then.
What's Lex using?
I think Lex will dual wield longsword, short sword if no one's using any of the short swords.
Is Lex a ranger? I can't remember.
Lex is a ranger.
Yeah, that's pretty badass then. Okay. I mean, a dual wielding, ranger elf in the Icewind Dale is a little, unusual, but we'll let it.
He's got a scimitar at his waist. I don't know if that's.
All right, so you collect this stuff, and that takes you probably about an hour, so we're pushing closer to for the time to collect it from him to transport the crate back to Geldenstag's Rest to your rooms there to distribute the stuff, and we'll let everyone else. Can you guys just maybe put in chat what you've claimed, and that way the rest of the party can decide what they want to grab. I think Arlen was the one who was doing the loot, or keeping track of loot. Okay. Then, what are you guys doing next?
Go ferret out Slim.
Take out one of his gangs at the marketplace.
Yeah. With normal weapons, so that they don't see the silvered stuff.
So we're going to cause a confrontation by busting one of his protection rackets up and wait for him to come to us, or I thought we were just going to go in mob-handed and arrest him for crimes against the state. Oh look, the silver's burning him. He must be a lycanthrope.
Sure, you can do that too if you want.
But I think he has a lot of guys with him, so you're trying to draw him out so we can deal with him piecemeal rather than trying to take on them all in one go. I quite like that.
All right.
So, help me understand how this is. You're going to do this in a public place,
though, isn't it? Yeah, that's a bit public because the guards might get involved. I think maybe trying to go to the North Look and effectively, I don't know, what excuse could we use? Well, we could say we want to hire on. Maybe the ones. So who actually met him before? So it was me and is there anyone else?
You and Store and Lex, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we know what room he's in. We just walk up to that room if that's what we want to do.
Bust down the door.
Turns out he's in a different room because somebody was already there.
So let's do this, guys. We're talking a lot about possibilities. Maybe let's try and focus on what you guys actually want to do now.
Well,
Do you want to assign a decision maker?
whatever happened to bringing proof of this cult for if we're
Well, unless we set up, the other option is to set up Hobbs, Store, got wrong name, say he's interested and have us pretend to be shoppers and we overhear it and we denounce her. And then drag her to the steps and force her to confess.
I mean, if we're concerned about freeing this guy, that might be better. I mean, we can always get proof of the Slim thing if we guard the warehouse, get paid for that, then apprehend somebody, use them as proof against the involvement, and do this later. It's just
that's not going to happen before sundown.
It's just
maybe not.
let's just drag Slim forward, like we said, and we'll get the apothecary to testify that Slim's.
So one thing, guys, that we talked about, on a metagame text, you don't have enough time to do everything. Like this game is this particular adventure is designed that you don't have time. You can't be everywhere at once. So
You can't complete every quest, yeah.
Exactly, and the thing is, the consequences that flow from not being able to do that, that's part of the adventure. So you don't need to worry about, there's not a mystery solution where you guys can get everything in the, the center of the Venn diagram. So if you're feeling like, fuck, there's too much shit for us to be able to deal with, that's a feature, not a bug, of the adventure. So what's maybe a productive way of thinking what you want to do with the next, the last half of the session is, what do we want to get out of this? One thing I wanted, not to throw further wrenches into things here too, but Thomas and Store, you guys are familiar with thieves guilds. If this thing's active here, what does that tell you? It's not news that there's a thieves guild and that there's bullies going on, around through town. It's not, the extortion racket doesn't seem like it's a surprise or a secret here. So what does that tell you about the situation in town?
They're quite powerful, but a thieves guild that doesn't protect people can quickly lose its cover. So effectively, we've got three things we could do, and that's either some way of saving Throndrail, get the uncover the cult, or go in and effectively do brute force and try and take Slim in and use him to distract the crowd from the other things. So, three options, I think. Anyone else got an?
I think that dealing with Slim is a longer term, is a long game.
Okay.
I don't know that we'd be able to. We don't even know if we'd be able to go in there and actually take him down. I don't know. We don't know enough about his organization, how many allies he has, how many people he's got. I don't know that we could just. I think it's arrogance to think we can walk in there and just take him out.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Store, the area. Is a potential that, we cut off Slim's head and they just replace him with someone else?
Yeah.
Someone who owes us a favour. Yeah, so I think direct.
I think Hobbs is on you.
Directly approaching.
So guys, hold on. There's also because Arlen's not here. He was the note taker. There are leads you have not followed as well too.
Well, yeah, the looking after the warehouse and that.
Nope.
The question is.
No.
There's the half elf.
Yep.
Can we see his notes?
Yeah, it's in the party notes. He has the section set up.
He's talking about this Aglinel.
Oh yeah.
Mithron did speak to Brune and mentioned that he had a run-in with them as well too.
Maybe he knows something. That sounds good. Sure.
If he's around, but if he hasn't gotten a message to Mithron, that's what I read.
We might be able to find him. That's something we can do with the rest of the session. I mean, in all honesty, even if the Rhaegar tribesman dies, we already have the token that will allow us to help with the elk tribe that he gave us.
Hey,
sounds hard, but
Store, why don't you go back to the wool merchant and see if you can get a meeting with the cult.
He's not around yet.
Oh, okay.
As far as we know, that's what she said last time. I tried that.
Oh, right. So he'll contact you.
Yeah, and what you guys found from Devessa Shane is that it seems like she might be talking about a merchant who lives in Bremen.
So more long game stuff, really, kind of.
Well, let's work on the tribesman. He's the only pressing deadline that exists within anything. Let's try and get him exiled, and it doesn't have to be to the south. Why does it have if he wants to go north and his natural inclination would be north, why can't we just get him exiled to the north or to the east?
The exile is not going to happen without proof.
Without what?
Unless we
Something to distract the crowd.
Yeah.
Is convert the crowd's feelings.
I see.
Unless we
Again, I think that the ticket there is is to lean into the crowd's desire for vengeance, not try to dissuade them from it or deflect it elsewhere. I think make the crowd believe and agree that exile with a unique form, i.e., not with his weapons, not with his equipment or anything, just him and the clothes on his back, sending him out is as much a death sentence with the rise of the Yetis and the cold and the time it would take him to get there with nothing.
And if he was accused of letting in the Yetis, what better penalty for a criminal than to be torn apart by those he...
Exactly.
Yeah,
I think the key here is to
you.
convince the crowd that this is a worse punishment and therefore more satisfying to them than what they had planned.
So then how do we
her...
do that? How do we do that? These are all great theories, but what actions do we take to do that?
Well, maybe someone who's good at public speaking jumps up on the... I assume there's I imagine it's like a civic building, so there's steps leading up sort of thing. So you could run up and address the crowd from there and effectively say, he doesn't deserve to die, because I understand death from cold is supposed to be not too bad. You just drift off.
Yeah, it's too good for him. Yeah.
It's just the first couple of
taken
hours.
outside and torn to pieces by Yeti.
Yeah.
And we are the men to do
punishment.
So we smear him in goat's blood and send him out into the wilderness.
Yeah, I like this. I like this idea.
And we can have a couple of other people in the crowd say, yeah, and...
we'll stand in different parts of the crowd and cheer.
We'll do that. Yes.
Yeah, I like it.
I like that idea. Yeah.
Let's do it.
We will need, if we do this though, we need someone to go speak to him and let him know what the plan is, so that we give him a place to meet us. Because part of this, the other half of this plan was we then sneak out, meet him at a place, and provide him the provisions he would need to survive. Otherwise, this really is a sentence worse than what the town would do to him, and we are no better than them.
Does anyone speak their local language?
But are they going to do it right now? If we tell them to do it, are they going to just send them off into the? I guess it's possible. Maybe a couple.
The idea was that as the heroes of Yeti killers, we'd be the ones to take him out. Question is, can someone speak to him in the Elk tribe language?
That's too.
It would have to be a local, I think.
I think that's too risky. I think if you're seen talking to him, and it looks like collusion, somebody catches wind of that, and then our entire plan is shot.
Or
So
somebody
it
has a message spell or something.
It has to be authentic. He has to think that this is his punishment. And if
That's
we
a good
give him,
point. What if we sent our own people outside of the city before we enacted this plan?
Yeah.
To a place, and then we a place outside the city near the gate that we would release him from. And then they just happen upon him, or he happens upon them, because they're watching for him.
Which way did the Yetis attack from?
The southwest gate, I believe, is where we came in, the caravan route.
Yeah.
So then that would be the gate that we would say to send it through. Back towards where the Yetis came from, southwest gate. And so all we have to do is send a couple people out the southwest gate prior to. A couple miles down the road. He thinks he's in exile, and bam, there's a couple people there. We don't need to find secret spots and stuff like that. They just someone needs to be one person, two people need to be outside the road.
And if he believes it, then his reaction will be genuine, and this will be convincing. I agree.
100%.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
So our most persuasive people need to be in the crowd. Our least persuasive people need to be on the road.
I think I'm the least persuasive.
Wait, Kevin's saying something here. in
Oh, it's just
chat.
the language. The reason I was looking down is I was looking at the language.
Check my character
Oh.
sheet.
I think we looked at it before. I just forgot. It's Eluskan is the language of the Regid tribesmen. Which
Do they speak? Does the crowd here speak a different language?
common tongue.
Like common tongue. Okay, so.
Yeah.
How well respected are the dwarves in this city?
I mean, they're definitely where the Regid tribesmen are seeing is like at best, tolerated, sometimes allies. At least the Elk tribe is. The dwarves are seen as they're seen as different from the humans and the other species that occupy the 10 towns. But they are definitely seen as much more an integrated part of it. The mining and the riches that come out from the Dwarf Valley is much more an integrated part and supported part. A century ago when the tribesmen took up arms, it was the dwarves who stood with the 10 towns.
So would it also help our plan to maybe get like the apothecary and other people that we know that are on kind of our side to be in the crowd and like, because if a local is going then it's different than one of us who came in on a caravan going
Well, we have some locals with us. I think it makes sense for a local to get up and be the one to talk. But
like
I mean, if we got time to get the apothecary, sure. But if we don't,
Store, do you feel comfortable taking point on that?
I don't know. Like, we can see what happens, I guess.
I'm thinking, like, I'm asking about the dwarves. 'cause,
Storm's
like,
going to turn the crowd on you guys. They're the ones who cursed us all. Look at they brought Yeti here. I was a prisoner. Kill them all. And give me their loot.
I was asking about the dwarves because it's possible that maybe Cola could. I've got a charisma of 14. It's not super great, but my thought here had been like, because one of the challenges we're going to have is the fact that a lot of us are either not from here, or if we are from here, we're still kind of transient. But maybe Cola could make the case that back in my day, we we doled out real punishments that were fitting.
yeah.
We didn't just tie someone to a post. The mark of a true 10 townsman is to face the elements and be given a punishment befitting the crime, kind of thing, and like try to say, you've all gone soft. You should be a lot harder on this, and this is what we would have done back when I was still living here.
It might even work for an outsider to say something like, "Down south, you wouldn't tolerate. What are you, a bunch of coddled polycocks or whatever the word is?" Like,
Well, careful. If you're an outsider saying it, they're liable to go, "Yeah, you're
Throw
an
you in.
outsider. We don't care how you do things where you're from. This is what we do."
well,
But
yeah, but I assault their pride and the idea like you guys don't know how to punish me.
Well, then maybe
Well,
you end up on the post.
yeah.
That's true.
And you'd be on character number 3 for the campaign.
Yeah,
I think the reason, like, I'm essentially promoting or suggesting the same thing, that
totally.
I shame their pride, but
Yeah.
it's different when it comes from someone who is from here, who's just spent some time away and come back. I still have roots. I still have family here. I can point to the damn mountain and say, "This is where I'm from."
And you could do a squirrel thing. This is like,
Guys, we're getting a little bit of reverb from somebody. I don't know who it is. It's gone now.
So our illustrious DM gave us a tip not too long before break about how to even phrase this. So let's take that and put it in action. Whoever.
Go get him, Andrew. Go get him, Andrew. You're way more on point with this concept than I am.
Yeah, I like this idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
great. Now I stuck my foot in my mouth. I gotta actually do this now.
It's only some skill checks that are going to determine whether you end up on a post too. No worries.
Oh no, Kevin specifically said this is not a skill check. This is gonna come down to how well I phrase this.
Okay, your charisma's a 14, you said?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Okay. Well, I'm ranger. So do you guys want me out in the past the southwest gate? I can go for a walk now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not terribly charismatic, so if we're going to have 2 out there, I'll go with you.
Okay.
I'll be in the crowd. I'll be one of the echoes in the crowd.
So you're
We'll
just
have to pick up.
what is
I'm
it?
gonna pick up some extra clothes and like a cloak and some warm gear and stuff for the and we're gonna go for a walk down out the southwest gate.
Okay.
Town.
And what? How are you planning on? I may have missed this, guys. How are you planning on? Are you planning on communicating anything to Hengar about like how to meet up with you? Or are you guys just planning on trying to find him after he's been kicked out of the?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We don't have to be far. We just have to be away from eyesight of the town.
Okay.
Well,
the thought
you
here,
can,
Kevin, is that we want it to be more convincing, and we need
Yeah.
Rhaegar to be convincing. So he needs to believe that this is actually his fate.
Hengar.
Hengar, sorry.
Yeah.
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 Totally.
Hengar the Rhaegar.
He's a ranger.
He's not a Targaryen.
Follow him. And unless Thor sort of right when we let him, you drop him off, you could say, well, go to the tree line over there. There's someone waiting for you, very quietly. You could make it appear like you were swearing or...
I think that's That's directly contrary to what they had said, guys. So here's
Okay,
what suggestion I'm going to make is... hold on. Everyone just stop talking for a second. So here's what I'm going to suggest, guys, is Devil's Advocate is a useful thing sometimes to a degree. But what you seem to be continually doing, guys, is you're suggesting a course of action and someone is saying why it won't work. And then someone else is suggesting an action and someone else is saying why that won't work. There's never going to be a perfect idea and a perfect concept, so maybe it was a good idea to try to pick the horse you're going to ride, which it sounds like you've done now, and then just ride that horse and deal with the consequences instead of going back and continually devil's advocating things.
Or tweaking.
I apologize to all of you watching at home.
No, this is I think it's this is what sometimes like the things just like in so what this is a little aside here, but in the day job, what in my part of my day job, what I work with is a student like a student lawyer organization, and they do this thing every year called a trial course, and I every year write a trial like a fact pattern for them to work with, and one of the instructions I always give is do not work the pattern, do not work the fact. Like it's an advocacy exercise. Try and make your best argument with what's here. Don't interrogate the facts too much because it's a fucking fiction. It's going to have holes in it. There will be things that don't make sense. And if all you try and do is prove that this doesn't make sense or prove that you've got a better argument based on this fictitious scenario, it's not going to work. That's not what the advocacy is about, is thinking your way out of this problem. And this is what role-playing games are in large part, is they're not real world things, so there's always going to be inevitable like weird things that don't make sense, and if you burrow down too deep into them, you can get lost in a hole in the fiction rather than the actual fiction itself. Does that make sense? And I think this is what it's up 2 hours exactly. Yeah, and this is what's helpful with this does happen at tables everywhere. Every table I've ever played at, this is what ends up happening is, and part of why you need to kind of set a point where you're like, okay, discussion's over, what are we actually doing? So speaking of that, it sounds like you got a course of action now, guys. The cola is
Lex and Thomas are leaving.
Okay.
I'll take some gold off and we'll buy some gear.
Okay. I've been looking for an opportunity to roll a random encounter, so I mean
yeah, we disappear and then you find our dismembered bodies. I will take the silver weapons with us, of course. We could just give him my... Oh no, I've only got the one cloak. No, we'd have to buy new stuff.
I just took 5 gold off. We'll say I've got enough. I'll check the players if I need more. I will.
Okay.
While they're role playing, I'll.
All right. Okay, so here we go, guys. Let's. Okay. So, Lex and Thomas, you are the ones who are going out, and then it's Store, Grim, and Cola are going to do what? Head back to the crowd outside of the Speaker's Palace? Okay, so go ahead and take the scene from there, guys. You can see that it's still the same group of not rabble-rousers, but the same group of people. Torches have begun to be lit to sort of illuminate the square outside of the Speaker's Palace in light of the coming dusk. What happens?
The music gets ominous.
Yeah.
I think it's you, Andrew. What are you going to do, bro?
Well, I think so. We got the crowd. I'm just trying to put some thoughts together to how I might approach this. So they're all kind of like rabble, 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 rabble. Okay. Oh man. Okay. Let's try this. I'll this is more. This is not Cola. This is Andrew. Very aware that he's on a live recording on the internet.
Not at all. There's no wrong answers.
No, just roll with it.
Yeah.
All right. So Cola will step out in front of the crowd, and how do I open this?
Everyone can. You guys can feel free to metagame and suggest stuff as well too. If Andrew's okay with that, if you want some suggestions.
Yeah.
It's
Go nuts,
the
guys. Opening that I got a problem with here.
You can also go up and just smack him once or something like that, like rough him a little and show that you don't really give a crap about him.
He's actually right there.
He's tied up.
No, he's tied up in the market square.
Oh, he's in the market square.
Yes.
Yeah. That's.
So you got to get the crowd riled up. Speak to the people. Man of the people. Here you go.
Well, let's be keep in mind though that they're not just mad about that. They're all. So you need to probably transition to the barbarian somehow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone, listen. What a town this has become. I am Cola, and I have returned home after a number of years away. But what home have I returned to? I come home and have my caravan attacked and beset by foul creatures, Yeti, that we have not seen certainly ever. I cannot remember Yetis attacking this far south.
And someone cries out, "The tribesmen! The tribesmen are to blame!" I don't know why it's English people. Sorry, Mo. I'm being racist here.
Why I realized.
Yeah, it's a tribesman.
On the rewatch, I realized I slipped into some Scottish, and I was like, no, let's not do that.
I was gonna ask. I'm like, Scottish dwarves again? Come on, can we get rid of the stereotype?
No,
I was gonna rewatch this session
like,
about your accent going away.
You were doing good though. You're doing good. Yeah, it's the tribesmen to blame.
Okay.
Tribesman.
Great. Now, okay, wait, back into it.
I mean,
so they're
Cola
accusing
may
me
not
of
be
being a
comfortable with
tribesman.
this either, right? Like this could be a difficult thing for him to do.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's still a priest.
Yeah.
He's treading lightly here. Sorry, I got now distracted.
So you said so that you came back. There were Yeti.
Came back, yeah. Yeti. Never in my years had I seen, in all my years living here in the Vale, Yetis daring to strike against a town, especially, never let alone this far south. I had spent some time away. Business took me away from the Vale, but I was eager to return to my roots, to my people. And yet I have returned to something fearful, something terrifying. I do not understand. We have arson in the cities. We have in this city. We have growing fear. We have the weather changing in the winter, looking like it is going to be worse than has been had in decades. And whom do we blame for this? Who is to answer?
The Rhaegar tribesmen!
You hear, yeah, the speaker.
The speaker, truly. The speaker's to blame for this.
Rhaegar tribesmen!
No, my friends, no. How can we expect the speaker to fix everything for us if we are not willing to stand on our own? Is that not what we are as a people? I recall the people of 10 towns. I recall dwarf and human alike. We are a people that stand united and together when trouble besets us. And friends, I cannot think of more trouble than what currently besets us now. We have this man who stands accused of thieving from us, a man whose people, you believe, are responsible for the appearance of these Yeti.
They're all
Who let in the
thieves!
Yeti? Who let in the Yeti?
That's right. I was in on the last caravan. All of you may recall, my friends, my compatriots, and I were beset. We lost several good men that day. And yet, did we not defend this good city against this brazen attack by these monsters, these foul creatures? And I wait.
Yeah!
Story, you say it, one of the people next to you sort of like starts jostling you. Like, yeah, you did it, you!
Well, oh, we all know it was those damn tribesmen.
Well, we currently have this man, and what are we to do with him? What is it you want done with this man?
Get him!
Too good for him!
But, ah, my good friend, perhaps it is too good for him. You see, my friends, this man has some creativity. I've been gone from this from the Vale, but in my day, this reminds me of a time before I left when we had a fellow who had wronged us in a way that hurt our community gravely, the dwarves in the mountain. We did not simply kill him quickly. Such a death was too merciful, such a death was too simple, and such a death did not do honor to us and those he wronged. No, my friends, we took him and waited until the winter, until the coldest time possible, such a winter as we are now experiencing, and we cast him out, not with the supplies necessary for him to make his way elsewhere. No, for that would only make him someone else's problem. That does not bring honor to our people. That simply throws our problems on others. What's to stop him from simply going and finding refuge in another city and visiting this upon them? No. No, we cast him out with nothing but the clothes on his back. Let the winter take him, and let the man who brought these Yeti upon us face them himself. Let him try and see what luck he may have against these beasts and these creatures.
Someone shouts out,
I
he
wager
should
he
die
won't
in the
survive it.
square!
No!
Why the
dwarf
square?
speaks truth.
Why
Let
does the
punishment
square?
fit the crime.
Indeed, sir. Make the crime fit, or make the punishment fit the crime. Tying him up in the square. What? So we can simply sit there and mock him, and that he can simply just die when his body gives out? No. He needs to feel the terror and the fear that he made us feel, that he is making us feel now. If we simply put him in the square, he can just couple hours in the cold and he will just expire. What punishment is that? No. He needs to understand what he has done to our town, and he needs to feel what we now feel.
And you hear from the crowd, cast him out!
Cast him out! Cast him out! I'm gonna try to get that whole cheer.
The crowd goes along with that very, very quickly.
To the square.
Ah! They all cry. So basically, like, the mob is now going to be following Store and Cola to the square. They want to grab him and let him go out. You can see the guards at the front. They sort of step forward and look up to the window into the study. And if Grim, I think you're the one who would be left here. You can see that Shane kind of, nods as if to say, like, go. And one of the guards turns and runs off in the direction of the square. So
I will follow the guard. I'm
Okay.
going to try to literally stay ahead of this as much as I can.
Absolutely. Story, you're sort of at the closer to the front of the crowd as well, too. So the crowd does make its way through the streets. They're all shouting, and it looks like more people are coming along. And they're all chanting at this point, cast him out! Cast him out! And there's more and more people who get wrapped up in this shit. You get to the square, and the guards at first are trying to keep the the ruffians and whatever else at bay. But as soon as the guard reaches there too, he you can and Grim and Cola, it sounds like you guys would be following him. You can see the guard sort of gestures like, just do it, just do it. And the guy is released, and or you're gonna try and take the lead.
Well, I think I'm going to try to like manhandle him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a good show of it. Make it look. I might even like punch him in the gut or something.
Score will as well. So we can tell him in their language up close that what we intend to do.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly what I'm hoping here. Cool.
So, sir, what do you say in Aluskan?
We are friends and we are freeing you. We have men outside ready to help you.
He looks up at you, and remember, he had the shit kicked out of him last time you saw him. He's been beaten even more. So he sort of nods as if he understands, and then takes your punch and sort of play acts how much it hurts.
Yeah, it's not a like it's I'm doing it for show.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to actually hurt him.
Okay. You can picture like the long walk from Market Square. I'm looking at the map here, all the way down to the southwest gate. There's more and more people who are coming. They're throwing shit at him. They're cursing him. Women are spitting on him. It's quite the ordeal, and he's wearing very little at this point. He's probably down to his breeches again. And well, he's probably got a shirt on at this point because they're not ready. They're not, exposing him fully to the elements. But as they go along, there's people who run up ahead. The guards follow you as well. This raucous, mob.
Could I also kind of? I know everybody's kind of paying attention. And in the past, I've described it as an aura. But is there a way for me to, as I'm like manhandling him, to like sneak a hand underneath or close to his body and surreptitiously cast a cure light wounds to try to?
No,
or is that
casting spells in old school games, it's the way I always describe it is it's like what do you call it? Like the way magic looks in the World of Warcraft film or the Warcraft film. It's
so there's always an
loud and
behind,
Part of the reason is because interrupting spells is such a thing in here. You kind of have to know where the gestures and whatever else.
Then fine. We'll just carry on.
Okay. So yeah, you bring him along. It reaches the gates, and what do you, Store and Cola? What do you guys do as you throw him out?
Make a WWE whirling hand about it, get the crowd riled up, and then throw him forward.
Yeah, love it. And they get completely. They're all in favor of this stuff, and like rocks and old bread and shit like that. It's all just being and shit, I guess, as well too, being thrown at this guy as he gets outside. He's pelted with this, staggers forward, and kind of spares a look back at the crowd, and he shouts out at the crowd, "The White Witch will take you all!" And
be gone, you dirty tribesmen! Let the Yetis take you.
Okay, so
He'll feed on you first.
And you can picture as well too, like what stretches out from here. It's in the illustration in the maps, or the maps at least. It's shown as like kind of the springtime or summer tundra. It's white as far as the eye can see. It's white, heaps and banks of snow. And he turns and begins sort of staggering along. The road itself is crossed because no traffic has been on it for a while. There's massive drifts of snow that cut across it like embankments, and he has to stagger through that loose snow that gives way beneath his bare feet as he makes his way out of there. And everyone sort of cheers and the crowd all keeps patting you guys on your back, and they continue chanting, until the alcohol begins to be broken out. Kick him out! Kick him out! So, or cast him out, I guess is what you said. He turns and leaves, and it's only really the most determined that sticks around long enough to see him disappear among the horizon. Now, Lex and Thomas, where did you guys situate yourselves to make sure you see him?
Down the road, but just off the road. So, he might not see a lot of tracks on where the road would be. Like you said, there's like snowdrifts and whatnot. But there'll be a little bit of foot traffic maybe that's gone since the last snowfall, and our trail will be there. But Yeah, so we're like down the trail about like, I don't know, just so that we can see the town, but we're pretty sure that they can't see us. Like we're a
Sure.
couple
It's
miles maybe.
honestly, it'll be easy to find a drift that you could sort of hide yourself behind.
Yeah, or a clump of trees or whatnot.
Sure. Okay. So it's you've probably been out here for a couple of hours, and it's
We're pretty
definitely
cold.
yeah. It's definitely getting late in the day as well too. When you see a lone figure making its way along, and it's the only person you see traveling this road. So
Okay.
how do you guys gesture to? And let's take a quick look at Hangar as well too.
We'll wait till Hangar is close so that we don't have to shout, because being a woodsman, I know that the sound can carry for quite a way, especially over the snow.
Yeah.
And when he gets close enough, we'll go, Hangar, come.
He makes his way over, and he's carrying himself. He's got to be freezing. His feet are like beet red. His face, his hands. He's got to be close to suffering frostbite at this point.
Yeah, so give him some boots and clothes and a warm cloak.
Yeah.
And I will actually give up my scimitar to him
Okay.
so that he has a weapon.
Okay.
And a dagger.
Okay. So
Some provisions.
he looks at you and he says, "Are you kin with the other elf, Gorwin?"
Nay, I'm from the south. But we all agree that what's happening to you is wrong, and we're going to try to set it right.
There's little to be done here now, too. The townsfolk have been taken with madness. My people are still... the threat of the White Witch remains true, though.
Yes, and we understand that there's those in town that have nestled in the bosom of the White Witch. So I understand that that's a problem here and a problem elsewhere. We'll do our best to try and tackle the big picture. First, we'll have to do a few things here in town. But
but we need to go now.
We'll have to wait for our friends. And
wait how long?
Well, we'll head to the next town and send word. If we head south, Kevin, can you go to the main map?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Big map. I just don't know the towns all that well.
No, of course. You mean you haven't committed the 10 towns to memory, Dave? Come on.
No, I haven't. Okay, so we're in Bryn Shander.
Yeah.
It's actually a long way south, so I don't know if we didn't actually plan where to take him. I kind of thought he was going to go on his own.
So I mean, what he says, he is grateful for you guys saving his life, obviously. His impression is that the 10 towns are lost. They're whether madness or whether the sway of the White Witch, he needs to get back and help his people. There will not. He does not foresee allies to be found here. If you want to wait, if you will wait a day, if you need a day to get everyone ready, he will wait, but he will be no more than a day. Tomorrow he needs to leave.
Okay, which way will he go?
He will cut.
Will he cut north?
He will go east to the
east
to the
way?
edge. Yeah, to the edge of the Dwarven Valley, and then head north along Bremen's Run, or north east along Bremen's Run, then turning north towards. He says the Elk tribe's encampment is about 3 days travel.
So what does he know about the problem, about the White Witch problem? Can he describe more about what happened, or has he already told us what's happened to his tribe?
Yeah, he said that
all we know of is there's a cult in town, and that's the reason why he was strung up.
Sort of. I mean, if you check in your notes or the party notes, Arlen, I think, did take notes of what he said about the White Witch.
Okay. Well, we don't need to go through that again, but
no, yeah, I mean, you can to refresh memory. I'm fine. It's just I sooner see you guys do it than me.
We'll pick him up in the morning. Just have him go off and hide. We'll pick him up in the morning with that caravan.
Yep.
And then if we have the caravan for 2 days that one way, and then we'll come back as soon as we escort them, and then head north.
Yeah, which way was our caravan going? Was it going down the
Same
east
direction.
way?
It's not a caravan. It's just Helda. Helda really
Helda
wants
was
to follow
Was
boat
she
this.
going to Red Run though?
No. She's just going to go to. She's hanging out in Bryn Shander for. She was giving you guys at 5 days, up to 5 days. She had stuff to keep herself busy here, but then she wanted to head to the Dwarven Valley. That Black
Dwarven
Ice.
Valley, right.
Yeah, she wants to find more
Yeah.
about that Black Ice. It
So-
seems like potentially a lucrative endeavor.
I'll tell him if he can survive for the night, we can leave tomorrow, heading for the Dwarven Valley, and he can accompany us on the road. But he'll have to, loop around the town and keep a wide enough berth that the town doesn't see him. They're not likely to.
He sort of smirks and says, "I'm ragged. They won't see me unless I wish to be seen."
I understood as much. I feel the same. But we need to spend the next hour or two doing some hunting. I need to bring something back so they can understand why we left. So we give them the provisions and some water and enough gear, and I'll take my scimitar and dagger off.
Okay. So yeah, he can actually help you with that as well too. So we'll say that you're able to, you get a brace of what do you call it?
Snow hares, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Great.
Oops. I'm not trying to roll, I'm trying to delete. There we go, modify.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. He can have the scimitar and the dagger, and I will use the silvered longsword and the sword.
Okay. All right. So what are you guys doing next?
We'll head back into town, and I mentioned we will take the. We'll go back to the Gelded Stag or Gelded Stag Rest.
Yep.
Because I assume that's where the party will be staying still, unless something's changed.
Okay.
So that'll take us for a couple of hours, unless Thomas has something he wants to add.
Nope. Oh, well, we can't hear you.
You're muted.
Right.
Oh, all right.
Right, did you get that? Let me just check the sound.
No, we haven't heard anything from you.
We can hear you now.
We can hear you now.
All right, you can hear me now. Okay, great. I think it's sending the audio to sleep. Yeah, so I was going to say, we'll be going to guard this warehouse and see if we get any clues that way tonight.
All right.
We did agree to that, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we said we would do that, so we would be breaking our word.
I assume we'll meeting the others at the Gelded Stag, though. Gelded Stag Rest.
Because I could do with a hot meal and some warm spirits after being out here for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's probably about it's certainly about 7:30, 8 o'clock by the time we get back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Assuming we don't get murdered by yetis on the way back.
Yeah.
I'll bring the conies in to the owner and say, out hunting today. Feel free to make use of these to your liking.
Yeah.
She kind of like this is remember Myrtle is quite a busybody, so she's like, "What were you thinking going outside in this?"
That's what I.
Yesterday we saw Yeti outside, clamoring to get in, and you put yourself out there.
Well, we were scouting to see if there were any Yeti traces as well, but there doesn't appear to be any. So we thought we'd bring back a couple of conies for rabbit stew.
So you not only faced the Yeti, you wanted to see them driven off. I see.
Oh yes. Safety
of the town. It's our primary concern at the moment.
She's very impressed with that. Yeah, that she buys that hook, line, and sinker. Okay, so then
sure.
Let's do this, guys. I forgive me. So because of the fucking production going on outside, I actually didn't take a washroom break last time. So if we don't mind taking a bio break, just a quick. We'll take a quick, just a 3-minute bio break. Come back, and then we'll pick up with where the warehouse job is going to be. You guys can feel free to keep talking, but I need to take just a quick break. I'll be right back.
That's funny. Well, that went far better than I expected it to.
Yeah, I was expecting we'd lose him. So okay.
Oh, everybody's gone. I'm gonna do the same. Be right back.
Yeah, because we can have something to eat here and then quickly go to the warehouse and then, doze while take turns sleeping while the others watch.
Yeah, totally.
Well, actually, yeah, we don't have to worry. Sorry, that's a bit meta. We don't have to worry about spells and who's got to recover at this point.
That's true. Yeah. I got to use any of mine. So.
Well done, Andrew.
Oh,
And Brandon.
thank you. Yeah, Brendan, those are some good.
Cheering.
Yeah.
Inciting the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Just surprised it worked.
I'm surprised he didn't put it. There was a made. I was expecting him to do a little bit of pushback, but
I know it was solid though.
Yeah.
It was really good.
that was pretty good. That was good. I would have
Maybe-
rioted.
Maybe everybody, all the viewers are still watching. Maybe Kev was just so happy that we did something instead of planned something that he went with it. You know, it's like, if they just stop planning and actually do something, the viewers will be happy. So Kev's happy.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. All right, then. Next is you guys are heading to the warehouse. Is that right?
Yeah, we're already decked out in silvered weapons, but hey.
Yep. All right, let me see here. Let me see here. Oh, what did I do here? Okay, let me get your tokens. Whoops.
All right.
Zigged when I should have zagged.
So do Rangers ignore the offhand penalties? Is that how?
I think so. Oh, I'm getting some background noise from somebody. Pretty loud.
Yeah, it's not me. Can we try selectively muting each other? Muting and then see.
I'm just gonna go in and check my settings, but
Yeah.
It's not my mic, it's not me.
Yeah, it's really loud, guys. Hold on here. Who is?
That's not it. It's not Andrew.
Yeah.
I think it's Dave.
me.
Yep.
Yeah. Is there a fan going or something, Dave? I don't know what the...
Or alternatively, is it your webcam mic is still on as well? Because I had that with mine, where I had.
No, there's the guys from the snow clearing company are here, and they're when I'm not talking, I'll mute.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Gas blower going on outside my place.
Yeah. It's not so bad now. Like it was just it was quite.
The funny
loud.
thing is, I can't hear it because I've got noise canceling headphones on, so my headphones are compensating for the noise, but you guys can hear it because it's coming to the mic.
Yeah. Oh, good that they're there at least. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna bring you over here. Okay, so this is boom. The building that you find your oopsies, wrong thing. I just dropped out of Roll20 by accident. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so guys, let me just reorient our cameras here. The building that you find yourselves in, that is that's the warehouse. So you guys will have sufficient time to sort of plan how you want to defend this place.
Which one of these is the warehouse?
The one you're in.
This one, or I don't know which one we're in.
I'm gonna
Scroll down and to
There we
the
go.
Right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
Okay.
Well, first things first. How many doors are there?
There are 3 doors in here. One at each of the long ends, and then those are larger ones for cargo, and then there's another one near the top here.
Do you have a map like this that doesn't have a roof?
I do, but I don't want to set it up. So
Okay.
let's talk about what strategy you got here. I'll set that up and while we're talking, but I don't want to.
What kind
So-
of stuff can we come up with?
Inside the warehouse, is it like multiple levels?
Nope. Remember, everything's one story in Bryn Shander, apart from the what do you call it? Oh, I might need Dave, Brandon, and Hobbs to reconnect as well too. I lost your cameras because I fucked up. Okay, let me see here. So what's the plan? You guys okay? Perfect. And I see
I
everybody
like
again.
the
Thanks,
toque,
guys.
Hobbs. It's a good toque.
I was going to suggest we try and block at least one of the doors, so we can force them to come in.
Yeah.
Well, and stay in. 'Cause
Do we want to be in?
we'll
What if they torch the place, though? I don't want to be trapped inside of a building with only one entrance, and they come in with magical fire and torch it.
Point.
Yes.
Do we want to necessarily be hanging like inside? So should some of us be like across the street? Well, with 3 entrances, we don't know which way they're going to come in.
Well, unless we have someone take turns sitting on the roof. Oh yeah, of course, it's going to be dark, isn't it?
So
there are
where
no
are they?
many street lights in this town, of course.
I like,
Where
I
are
like the
they?
idea of blocking 2 of the entrances, and then the rest of us like hang outside. So if they do go in, then we can like block out. Yeah, trap them in there.
Here, let's do this, guys. I got a better idea.
Yeah, we could put a lamp in there so it looks like there's people inside.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
But they might not want there to. They might not want there to be people inside.
so there's where you
Which
guys are.
building are we?
They might just prefer to burn the place down and leave. And
So let's not be inside. Let's
Yeah, I would
just
say let's-
position ourselves around the building so we can watch it.
either or we have somebody on the inside who's like hidden. But that's the only way I would consider.
Do we have anybody who's capable of that?
Right.
I mean-
I'll be the
So
bait.
there is like are those like loading
Hold,
bays?
hold on, guys. Hobbs, what were you trying to say?
I said I'll be the bait. Let's not take another hour of trying to plan this.
Yeah, I'll be
So
outside.
I'll be happily waiting here for them, and I'll talk to them when they come in. You guys come in, and then we'll kick their ass.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, that works.
Okay,
Let's keep
So-
it simple.
So-
But yeah,
guys
seal
per
the
entrance.
one. Make
Two
sure we
guys
only
per-
got one entrance.
guys,
though.
only one person can talk at once.
Two guys watching each entrance from the outside, store in the middle.
Yeah, we don't want to steal entrances because then they're just going to be like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah. And we need
Yeah,
ways
maybe you're
to
right.
get Hobbs out.
Okay, so I'm out in the alley.
I'll be this way.
I don't know how distance that is. I just want to make sure I'm not so far that I can't see.
Tom, you gonna be hanging with me in there?
I can do. I do have a hooded lantern for some of the people outside that they can use, and they can just close it over and then. Alternatively, we have the lantern inside, so it's obvious there's someone in there, and maybe try and like provide a.
But you know what? Let's just all wait inside. Seriously, I mean, if you're outside and they come from the opposite way, you're too far to get in. So let's all just
Yeah.
be in the building. Store can talk to them. If things go sour, we kick their ass and call it.
Well,
a day.
my concern would just be they retreat.
Oh, they retreat. They retreat. But
We still guard the warehouse, and we're good.
All
yeah,
right,
we
fair
guarded the warehouse. We did what we were supposed to. We can't guard
All
it.
right. That works.
Could we actually set up a tripwire on the doors?
Does anyone have
some
any?
rope?
Well, I
Right,
mean,
let's
does
go.
anyone have set snares as a proficiency?
I look at the ranger.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, we kind of want them to come in here and then hopefully stop them from fleeing, or just we want them to come in, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So-
if
I have an engineering proficiency. Could I make it so that perhaps the doorway caves in after they come in? Could I rig up something like that?
No. How the fuck would you do that in the span of a...
The masonry all falls on a hole. I don't know.
Oh, we would need way more time.
I'm not an
than
engineer.
that. You just
we
said
don't-
engineer.
No.
I mean, but Brandon's Grim's an engineer. But
Given
Brandon has no
a
idea.
work crew and weeks of time, sure. You could do that.
no, what we do is, bear with me on this. We find a wagon and we spend a montage of us like attaching extra stuff
Oh,
to it.
Yeah.
How about we just wait for them, and when they show up, we kick their ass?
Yeah,
yeah, I think
just
so.
Keep
Okay.
this straightforward. I mean, hide behind a pillar. Wait for them to come in, and as they're getting set up, we jump on them.
Okay. So has everyone picked the location where they want to be?
Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah. Is this
I'm going
is this
to be-
actually?
Well, maybe over here.
I'm
I'm
leaning on
going
the
to
wall.
make. Okay.
Leaning on a wall.
Okay.
Is this area here, Kevin? Is this actually like a raised area?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this pillar here, and in that way, that kind of keeps me. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to move some crates where I am, so I can like have a little hidden area I can like crouch down behind, next to that pillar, because presumably there are crates and other stuff we can move around to provide cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is what I suggest
So,
doing.
hide behind this pillar.
Okay. All right.
So, Store, do you want my lantern to make it look like you're the only guard?
sure.
Okay,
Set
so
the lantern
I'll,
right here by the post. Store will just be sitting on a crate.
Okay. Come on, motherfuckers. Love it. Okay, let's quickly. So here, grab a token here, guys.
why haven't I kept my settings?
Different token. Or do you mean something else?
Say
No,
again?
it seems to reset my Zoom settings. Well, must be per game.
Okay, let's see here. One. Oh, and who's going to track Astonishing Fortune? You guys have... Oh, Anna wants to. Never mind. She's answered.
Perfect. I'm hoping that her bad counting skills go in our favor.
her counting skills are not great.
Okay, I'll keep track because I've got one note. So we
Okay.
start off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Okay. Oop. I'm trying to find... Where is it here? Oh, you know, I should have done. A smart DM would have loaded the picture of Slim. That's what a smart DM would do. Okay. So, what you guys see, it is about... gosh. It's probably about maybe 9:30 or 10. The crews in the warehouse have obviously gone for the day. You guys have been waiting in here for a few hours now, and you can hear. I think no one hears a rogue, right? No, I don't think so. No one's
Grim's
multi-class.
seems like a rogue. Oh, you mean actual class?
Yeah.
Not a clap. No.
Or a thief. Like no one's multi-classing the thief or anything. So it wouldn't be. Yeah. Then it's just going to be. I think Cola and Grim, you were the first ones to hear the sounds of something at the door, and it's a sound that I'm trying to think what you would think. It sounds like bacon frying or meat frying on a griddle. There's this hissing sound of something, and then you hear some soft voices at the door down here. Oh, let me get to the right layer here. Down here. You hear some rattling of the lock on the handle, and then the doors are ever so slightly opened, and in walks this. 1, 2, 3.
That looks like 5.
What you can see,
It's not 3.
the one figure. So the figure, the women with their arms kind of akimbo or whatever. They are the same type of rogues are us types that you saw at inside the Northlook in Slim's room, and the other figure there, walking along jauntily with a dagger in his hand, that is Slim. I'll actually label it so you know.
Oh yeah, boy.
Vengeance for Erlich.
Go.
Who cares?
Who?
Who? Yeah, who?
So he walks in, and then he looks up and sees Store. Why don't you describe for us, Hobbs? What is Store doing at this point?
Store is lounging around. His helmet's on the side. His sword would be just propped up against another crate in front of him, where he's rolling some dice.
Okay.
Oh, look!
Store walks in, Slim walks in, and sees Store doing this. He looks a little puzzled. He looks back at you. Hello, my friend. Fancy seeing you here.
Without question, I didn't even put the cheese out yet, you rat-faced bastard. What do we owe? What do we owe the pleasure?
Rat face.
No.
You're fine, my friend. It's my pleasure, not yours. He looks at his the group and draws his dagger. Seems that we're finding at least one body inside here.
Maybe 2.
Get him. And they look over. Hide. Get him.
I'm not hiding. I'm just leaning on the wall.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So then they see you too. All right. So guys, we are going to be rolling initiative now. No one's surprised here. So they may not be aware of Grim and Cola and Thomas at this point. They're only aware of those. So you guys may get a bonus to hit them. So as a refresher, here's what we do. In AD, cause I know some of you guys play in the other AD&D games, but let's do a refresher here. I'm going to be rolling D10, and one of you guys will be rolling for the party. Oh, there's a cat. Look out! Sneak attack! We'll start with Dave. Dave will be rolling for initiative first. Now, what you need to do is after you see what Dave rolled, add the speed of your action, whether it's a spell or it's your weapon or it's another action. If it's another action, let me know what you want to be doing. Ooh, your familiar is awesome. I think she gives a dex bonus.
Yeah.
So what you're going to do is add that and then just put just that number in chat. And then I will be using that. We'll go through from lowest to highest. And yeah, it should make sense. If that doesn't make sense, it will make sense as soon as you see it. So, Dave. Beat my 10.
Oh, Kev.
Low is always good here.
Okay, so I'm not rolling surprise.
Not rolling surprise. No, everyone knows where everyone is.
Okay, but I'm pretending in my head I'm rolling surprise.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice. So,
Thanks for
add either your weapon speed or your, the speed of your action. If you're just moving, the speed of your action is 0, so you'll be acting on a 10. Otherwise, just put that in there, just like Hobbs did.
How does spells weapon speed work with that?
It's casting time. It'll say on the spell what the casting time is.
Okay.
And if a spell has a casting time of 1 round, then it takes you the full round to do that. And if you are interrupted, you have to I'm not making everyone put out what their actions are, but you have to decide what you're doing, and you have to stick with that action after you roll initiative.
And if we're gonna be moving and attacking, we use the obviously we would use the attacking as the speed of our
correct
action.
Yeah,
right?
and if you're moving an attack, you can move an attack. You can just move half of your combat move. Your combat move is I think you're a dwarf, right?
Yeah.
So your combat move is a 4, which means you can move 2 squares and attack.
Okay. Oh,
And how
well
many?
then,
What
I
is it?
guess
What is
actually,
it for humans? I always forget this about.
Humans, it's 40. Oh, sorry, no,
So-
no. Sorry, dwarves are 20. Humans are 40.
so
That's half, or that's full.
No, that's a combat move. Your half of that is what you can do and attack. You can also move half your combat move and cast a spell.
And
Would
these are all
be-
separate squares.
Would be going up this ledge. Would that cause any problems?
I'll take off another 5 feet from your movement, so 1 square.
then maybe actually I'm probably just a 10. I don't think I can actually. I won't be in a position to actually attack anyway. I have to just move this
Okay.
turn.
Okay.
So then I'm actually just a 10.
On a 10, okay. So then I just need Grim and Thomas to enter yours, please.
So I've got a dex bonus. Does that modify my?
Nope.
Oh, it's just straight. So
Just straight,
that's
yeah.
17.
Yeah, we don't
then.
do individual initiative.
I can't find the. Where is it?
And Kev,
Okay, again, like,
will just
Brandon,
be-
you don't need to write down what you're doing. Decide
I know.
yourself
I know.
what
I'm
you're
trying
doing.
to. I'm trying to find what the burning hands casting
Cast-
time is.
Yeah. Please make
Is
sure
he
you've got
everyone-
this stuff recorded, guys, beforehand, because I don't want to have to wait.
One.
Yeah, 1.
One,
You need to have
okay.
this easy access so we don't spend time. This is what slows down combat in role-playing games, is having to look shit up all the time. Please make sure you got that stuff ready.
You're
You're
an
going to
11
be able to
there.
move 15 feet and then cast, or 20 feet
Yeah.
and then cast. So
Okay.
yeah, just
All right. So then my first action is going to be on 15. So first up is Grim. What are you doing, Grim? Oh, no, first up
Yeah,
is Cola.
someone else.
Cola, go ahead.
Okay. Cola. Oops, I'm on pan view. Cola's going to 1, 2, 3, 4. He's just gonna move closer. That's
Okay,
all I can really do.
Next up is Grim.
Okay. I can't delay my action, can I?
It depends on what your action is.
Well, if it's the spell, if I wanted to delay it until they move into.
So if it's a spell, what happens is you start casting it at the start of the round, and if
Okay.
if you take damage between now and then, the spell's interrupted, and they can see that you're casting a spell.
You can move and
Yeah.
cast, but it's still like, so if you moved forward and started
Yeah.
casting your spell, you'd be somewhere
So-
over here,
yeah.
and then now you're casting until you're or now you finish.
Well,
casting
no.
at
You
your-
can't hold spells. Are not like that. You can't hold a spell. You can choose to act later, or what you can do is act on your turn. Those are your two
I'm
options.
gonna act after. I'm gonna act later.
Okay. So what do you want to act on?
Once they have completed their movement forward.
Okay.
come into range. You
So
mean.
Once
then
they
again,
come into range,
like
I can go forward.
yeah. So what you're doing is it's obvious you're casting then, because you can't.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Just so you understand what's.
But
like,
I'm kind of behind a pillar right now, so.
You are. Yep. But okay. But again, casting in old school games is loud
know.
and obvious. There's a reason.
I know.
Wizards are really, really deadly, especially at low levels. Okay, so then you're delaying. Then it is Falcrel. Wait, why is Falcrel in there?
That's what I've been talking about. He has himself named as Falcarel. You got to go to the bottom where it says as Dave and change it back to your actual character name.
Oh, right.
I don't
That's
know
why I've been saying I thought Jonathan was here.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oops.
I was wondering, I'm like, why does John keep whispering me in the game?
John, if you're here, you might as well be.
Yeah,
playing.
exactly. Might as well
That's,
jump
what
in.
that's what I was thinking.
Okay, Lex.
How could
Sorry,
you
Lex.
do that?
Lex, what are you doing?
Much love, John. I was moving and attacking.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I didn't realize they were going to be so slow. So can I delay?
They're acting simultaneous, so they're going to be moving up towards you anyway.
Okay, then I will start moving.
Let's just each move 4. So there's 2 of them that are moving over towards you, and then there's going to be 1.
It's a dance. We all move together and join in.
And these guys are going to charge on Store, and Cola was running 4 before them, so I think they're going to be aware of you now. This one will. Nice, that is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Oof. So the short sword does not hit. Whoa. So you go racing forward. What does it look like as you plunge your sword through this guy?
Yeah, so basically they start running, I start running, and it's just one of those quick, They like bat their sword away and right through their gut.
Nice. Okay, and then you swing your sword at the other guy, and then unfortunately it's a miss. What? Hold on here, I've got it written down. Lex, your AC is a 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he attacks you. That is a miss. So he swings with a long sword. Or short sword, probably. Then Store, we got 2 guys on you. They get penalty to hit because they charged. Store, your AC, I believe, is a 2. Is that right?
Good question. I feel like we haven't fought in a while.
Yeah.
It is AC 2, yes.
AC 2, okay. So they come racing in. Your shield is up. One of them is a wild miss, but the other one does manage to get a hit. No doubt distracted by the other. You take 2 points of damage, but DR will apply against that. Then
Splint is 1. What's 2?
Splint is 1. 2 is chain, half plate, and field plate.
Alrighty.
Okay, so yeah, you can hear that he is hurt, and then Slim, Slim, kind of says, "Rat face, am I?" And as he is running in, he starts barking.
Weird.
Anna has impeccable timing. She may not be able to read terribly well.
Weirhound.
Yeah, Weirhound, exactly. It's a Weirpipple. He transforms into this. Let me get the old handout here.
Come on, I want to see it. I'm like leaning in closer and closer to my screen, waiting for it to pop up. I'm like, come on.
And this is what comes racing in.
Skaven.
Yeah. So he
Lycanthrope.
is going to race up, and he'll join his allies here in fighting to the side there. And let's see here, his Thaco. Oof. Why would you put this in a first level adventure? Oh my gosh. What sick bastard. So he stabs out at you with his short sword, and it's actually a miss. You barely in time bring your shields to the side, and sparks fly as this sword stabs in at you. He is a dual wielder, though. And the second one is a miss on account of the dual wielding penalty. So, Store is surrounded by enemies now. All right. It appears that you did not draw their attention, Grim. So you were casting Burning Hands. You don't lose the spell if you just stop, but you do lose your action.
All right, I'm just gonna stop. Then.
Okay. Then it is. You can still move though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do your half move.
Yep. That works. I'll move here.
Perfect. Then it is Cola and Thomas on the same turn. Or sorry, Store's up first.
All right, so Store is just using his bastard sword since we don't have a silvered bastard sword. He's going to take out mostly these other guys first, not what's his face.
Okay, not Slim.
He's so inconsequential, I've forgotten his name.
I thought he was Rat-Faced Batser. He's an RFB.
I'll carve my name on your tombstone, my son.
Here, I'll use Astonishing Fortune for right.
You got it.
To get rid of these guys. Jesus. Oh boy.
That is not a good. That is not a good attack.
Roll
All
20 loves to chop on meta currency.
It does.
4 points left.
Okay, got that, and there we go. All right. Oh, gotta be bottom overlapping. All right, next up will be Thomas and Cola. What are you guys doing? Oh no, sorry, Cola's already moved. Thomas, what are you doing?
He's going to. He had his bow ready, so he's going to jump down to there, and he's going to shoot the nearest guy.
You got it. I think that's within your first. That's your first range increment, right?
Yeah.
What kind of bow are you using?
Short bow. So that's
Ooh, maybe. Hold on. Short bow has
How do you do the measuring thing?
Shortbow is 50 yards, 150 feet. So yeah, that's for sure within your short range.
Okay,
Go right ahead.
Right. Let me find my weapon. Right,
Okay.
so they're medium, aren't they?
They are. But that's only damage. Okay, let's not put the cart before the horse yet.
Yeah.
Oh, and this guy was coming over to Cola. I gotta make an attack against Cola. Cola's AC is an 8. That is not great. And I think you're actually hit, Cola. What kind of armor do you wear?
It is just, I think, leather, actually, because I was going, yep, leather armor.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Wow.
Cola takes 4 points of damage.
Oh,
Oof. Little help! And you don't have... So what I was saying before, Andrew, DR is damage reduction that heavier armor has. So medium armor and heavy armor offers a little bit of a deduction. Unfortunately,
Right.
leather does not.
no, I think there was a specific reason I had taken the leather when we were doing Care-Gen. I think it was because
Oh,
it would, the other ones would have other penalties on me that would suck more.
Got it. All right, AC 5. That is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Let's see. Oh, 5. Nice. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Yes. So one of them. Oh, you know what? That's a miss because there's a penalty of -3 firing into melee.
Yeah, thought so.
Yeah.
Isn't he a fighter?
I was in the wrong place, so I'm just
He's
gonna
a
drop
fighter,
the
but he
bow.
needs to have a certain kind of specialization in order to get
Oh, he doesn't have specialization on short bow.
that. I don't know if he does, but you need to get like there's a specific.
Well, 60 feet
yeah.
or something.
No, it's specific kind of specialization. Like you need it in the same way. There's like weapon
Oh, okay.
mastery.
I see.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so that is it's close. It's very, very close though, Thomas. Do you want to spend Astonishing
Yeah.
Fortune to re-roll that?
Yeah, I do have specialization. Yeah, let's do it because it's going to take me time to get into combat.
Sure.
So that's
Go ahead. So we're
Okay.
down to 3 points of Astonishing Fortune.
They have -2 to their AC too because they charge though, right?
Oh yes, they do. Yeah. So you're hit.
Oh.
Actually, never mind. So that one is down.
sweet.
So Store is hit with these 3, and then one of them gets hit in the side of the head, drops down dead with Thomas's uncanny aim. I think that is the end of first round, guys. We are on to round 2 now. Dave, see if you can do better on the second roll here. And again, everyone decide what they're doing, and then once you see what Dave rolls, add that to your action. Dave beat my 7. No.
I'm exiled from initiative.
Yep. So my first initiative will pass to Andrew. My first action will be on... actually on a 10.
Hey, does he get another arrow shot?
He does, yeah.
Well, I did move.
Oh, you did move?
But fighters can ignore that.
You can move
Alright, well,
your combat move and still.
I'll shoot the other one then.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I don't mean to be rules lawyering you, Kevin.
No, definitely. No, that's great. I totally forgot. So that one is a miss. And I don't think that's bad enough to hit one of your allies. Nope, you got a 10. Okay. All right, so then...
even though they charged.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though they charge, yeah. 8
If
is
you have a -3 and they have a -2.
Yeah, so that hits an AC 11. So... all right, so do we have everyone in there? Thomas, I just need your action, and then I'm on a...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
in
sorry,
there.
Thomas. Yeah, you're in there. Sorry. So
He
Grim.
didn't mind.
Grim.
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, then I am on a 10 first. So the one that is engaged with Cola has spilled dwarven blood. Let's see if he can follow up with another stab. No, does not. So Cola, you're defending yourself now. He brings the dagger out, or the short sword out, and tries to stab it in again. And this time you're able to keep him at a distance. You swing that shiny new battle axe of yours and throw his aim off. The one engaged with Lex is likewise going to try and get him. That is also a miss. Lex, he swings at you, having cut down one of his allies. You just throw the body in the way and it throws him off. The one engaged with Store It's going to try and stab him. That is not nearly good enough. Story doesn't even come close to hitting you. Can't even get a good swing off. And then it is Slim. Yeah, because I'm on a 12 for my next action. So Slim first with his nastier sword. Thank God for that low AC. He swings at you and you batter it up over, and then he stabs at you with his short sword. Also a miss. So you've kept him at a distance. Next up is then Lex. What are you doing?
Lex is going to attack. Longsword first.
Oh.
That's a solid damage. Too bad I rolled the wrong button.
Okay.
There you go.
Yes, that is definitely a hit. Ooh, that's actually good enough.
Really?
Yep. I roll these guys' hit points as you guys face them, so that's enough.
Okay.
What does it look like as you take him down?
It's not the best cut, but like uses the short sword as a feint and then hits the guy right in the neck, and it just like.
Nice. Okay. You still have your offhand weapon, don't you?
Yeah, and I'm going to move in behind Slim.
Nice.
Yeah, flank them.
3
Yeah.
of my 4.
Go ahead.
Silvered short sword. Hey Slim, how do you like silver? Oh, he likes it a lot. What's that?
You want astonishing fortune that?
Do it.
Do it.
That's a 3. Okay, I can't. Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
It's a.
You do get a bonus from attacking him from behind as well too. So.
Yeah, just don't roll terrible.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
What does it matter?
Come on.
You didn't throw
Oh
it.
my
right?
God!
no.
Sheepers. Now this is a favored attack round too, guys. This is the second round, so if you do have specialization in weapon, you get multiple attacks with it. It'll be at the end. Lex, are you specialized in either longsword or short sword? Oh, you're a ranger. You can't specialize.
Rangers, I can't specialize.
Yeah, it's only okay. So that was Lex. Next up is Grim on a 15 and Store on a 15. Grim, what are you doing?
I'm on a. Yeah, I am. Am I 15? Hold on. What am I? Oh, there I am. Yeah, I'm a 15. Okay. So I'm going to. Sorry, but I thought I was 16 for some reason. Okay. I'm going to. I have a sling. I'm gonna throw a sling. I'm gonna sling a bullet at this dude right here.
You got it. Yeah. Okay. So you kind of abandon the idea of casting your spell. Get your sling out. Phew, go ahead and make your attack roll.
Let's go tricky.
And then Store, you get to go as well too. Oh shit.
That didn't help.
No, and that also hits. That hits Store or hits
Oh.
Lex.
Astonishing fortunate though. Then
Yeah, you got 3
so-
astonishing fortune left. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll astonishing fortune that.
Okay.
Yes, you will.
God.
2 left.
Same team.
Even if you didn't.
There you
All
go.
right.
Yes,
There we go,
that
there
is
we
a
go.
hit. Go ahead and roll damage. 2 points of damage, but let's see. Is that enough? Jack dice. That is not enough, unfortunately.
Okay.
But it is. It's hit from behind.
Then I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move a little bit closer
Okay.
to that over there too.
There we go, guys. X. Oh, you can't move after you make a missile attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can move.
Well,
If you wanted to reposition, go ahead and move before. Just remember that for in future.
Well, if I get closer, then I can't really make a missile attack without some sort of penalty,
Kev,
right? If
are
I'm right
you
next
still
to him.
using?
So that's fine.
Am I
Kev, are
still
you
using?
the House Rules version 4 for this campaign as well?
I am. Yeah. Same thing.
Okay.
Nat 20 from Store. Shit. Go ahead and roll damage.
This is on the other guy because I'm pretty sure my weapon won't hurt.
Yeah,
once it's
yeah.
fixed.
Good lord. So what does it look like as you massacre this guy?
So Store just kind of slips back away from Slim as he misses him and just like nonchalantly backhands his head off from the side.
And the body falls down.
It's
dead.
like a no look. Was that like a no look shot? Like
Pretty
you're, like,
much, yeah.
Looking at Slim and.
Okay, then it is
And he
on 16.
Wipes his sword. Oh, sorry. Wipes his sword and sheathes it for his second attack.
Yeah. All right, so next up is Thomas and Cola. What are you guys doing?
Thomas, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to keep walking towards.
Okay.
It's 5, 10, 15, 20. keep walking towards them, and he's going to shoot at that guy. Okay, he's in combat, but
At which guy? Sorry? The one that's attacking.
The one remaining thug up there.
Yeah. Okay.
And I am specialised in short bow, so this is
excellent. So if it's within range, you get the +2 to hit as well.
It
almost offsets firing into melee.
Don't kill the dwarf.
Yeah, don't kill the healer.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Oh no!
6.
Okay, so that would be a miss. You want to? You have what? 2 points of astonishing fortune left. Do you want to?
When I say, I might as well just keep shooting.
Go ahead, make your second attack. Yeah. I don't think anyone else has a second attack on the favored round, right? Or not making one at least. Store's specialized, but I don't think he's making that second attack.
I don't know. I forget what you said about my battle axe. I'm not specialized in it, am I?
No, you're not. No, only fighters can specialize in AD&D.
Okay.
That is a hit.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thomas, go ahead and make your damage roll, and I'll check see how much. Whew. It's gonna be fairly easy to take down.
I thought it was the opposite. Oof.
That's exactly so. Thomas fires one and goes wild. So Cola, you can picture this. This guy is just he's injured you and he's stabbing away trying to get at you, and suddenly this arrow lodges in his neck, and he kind of and can't breathe whatsoever. There's some bubbling and gurgling from his throat, and then he falls to his knees and then clatters down dead. You Sparrow look back over your shoulder and see Thomas getting another arrow ready.
I will in gratitude raise my battle axe and nod.
Nice. So then
I haven't got any targets, have I?
well, you're out of attacks this round. Cola still has his action. What were you doing, Cola?
Well, nothing anymore. I was going to be swinging at this guy. So
excellent. So I think
we can run over here. Help us out.
Yeah,
we can move.
He's a dwarf. He doesn't move much, but.
Well, no, but am I allowed to? Because the attack was my action. Can I
You can always move.
Switch my... Okay.
And as long as if you're doing melee, you can move after or between your attacks or whatever. Melee it's only missile is a little more restrictive for when you can move, but
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I were to, you said it's twice the movement to jump down, so an extra 5 feet. So it'd be 10 feet of my movement's taken just to move here and down.
And I think if you were planning on fighting, that's all you have access to. Right.
Right. So that's as much as I can do.
Leap down in front of Grim. All right. I think that is the end of the round, guys. We're on to round 3. Dave has kindly passed initiative rolling duties off to Andrew. So everyone decide what you're doing this round.
Great. So it's all on me now.
And then Andrew, would you give us a D4 roll and beat my 4?
A D4 roll or D?
No, sorry, D10 roll. Beat my 4.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start making my attacks while you guys are taking your actions.
Way easier with a D4 though to beat you.
It really would be. Yes, I'm handicapping you guys. All right, so Slim is going to split his attacks. He's going to do his first attack on. Actually, I think he really dislikes you, Lex. Yeah, I'll roll randomly. Let's see here. Evens is going to be Store. Odds will be Lex. One on each of you, as I thought. Okay. So Store, you get swings that longsword at you. Clearly his split focus is not doing him any favors. And then he turns and tries to stab you with his short sword. Likewise, a shit roll. He's not. He's completely off balance. Does not connect with any of his attacks, guys. We have. Let's see here. So Tom and Grim will be up first at 10. It looks like you guys are moving. Go ahead and move.
I'm just going to drop the bow and do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35,
okay.
40.
Store, are you doing anything?
Can you draw as part of the move? Or am I just getting that confused? Yep. Yeah. So he'll pull out the silvered longsword as he runs towards the fight.
I don't know what the speed factor is for a longsword. So it was
longsword 5.
5.
It's not what I usually use for my character, so I'm adding that in.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so then you guys are on 15. So Lex, Cola, and Store, you guys have actions next. What are you guys doing?
I'm going to roll to hit.
Okay.
Not to damage. We'll start with the right roll.
Much appreciated.
So Store whips out the silvered longsword.
Okay.
Which he's not specialized in. Jesus, something's going on here, guys.
Nat 20 from the silver short sword, though. Pretty good. Go ahead and roll damage. 3, nice.
Oh,
So-
AC 20. Wow. Yeah, that's fucked up.
That is definitely fucked up. What was going on there? So your roll was...
There was no roll.
There was no roll. Okay, so you threw your short sword at him, or longsword. Let's see here. What's going on with your character?
Do you have a Thaco listed in your character, in your weapon?
There are 5 plus...
Yeah.
Thaco should be 20 at level 1. Yeah, that's right, because you get a +1 to hit from your strength, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a right roll. Okay, so that's... unfortunately, neither of you guys connect. Cola, what were you doing?
I'm gonna move here, and I'm casting. Sorry to be selfish, guys, but I'm casting Cure Light Wounds on myself.
Nice. Hey,
because this situation's got to be dealt with.
Clang it in
Gotta do
helps
what you gotta
those
do.
who help
If
themselves.
I go down, I'm gonna be useless to the rest of you. So,
So,
it's a D8.
It is, yeah. Nice.
There we go.
4 hit, we're back up to full.
I'm back up to full.
Outstanding.
I am useful again.
Then it is, let's see here, I think that's the end of the round, guys. And no one has any second attacks, right? So we are on to round 4. What Slim says in the interim as well, too, is, you think you've got this. You're all going to die. But he rolls an 8. So Andrew beat my 8 on initiative. Oh, no, you lost, didn't you? So it's on to Mo. Mo, beat my 8. Give me a D10 roll, please. Let's see here. 5.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I am not acting until a 13.
Ooh.
110.
A little slow.
Are you taking Grimm's plan and rebuilding that arch, or what? I'll see you next week, guys.
That's the weapon speed factor for a ballista.
Yeah. Okay, so
Or maybe
first up
trebuchet.
is going to be Grim. What are you doing, Grim?
Guess so. I'm just gonna run forward and get stabby with my silver dagger.
Excellent. Go right ahead.
Well, your Thaco's not any worse than ours at this level, so yeah. Hey.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's true.
It's just
Yeah,
if he attacks you, you're
that's just how it happens.
Yeah. Okay, so that is...
If he attacks you, you're on till third character.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cola, what are you doing?
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I was just checking on the spell casting time. I'm gonna try to cast Command on Slim.
Okay, so what do you... what's the one-word command that you're shouting out?
I don't know what word to use. Revert. I'm gonna try to get him to change back to his normal human form.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh.
That's a pretty fucking clever use of that. All right,
Yeah.
let's see here. So, creatures with an intelligence of 13 or higher.
It's worth a shot. I don't know, guys.
yeah.
Ooh. Which he does not have, or 6 more hit dice, which he does not have, are entitled to a saving throw. Otherwise, no save.
Whoa.
So you see him, he'll tremble and transform back into that buck-tooth shit that you saw before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. Truly, truly awesome.
Okay. Now, that next up is Grim made his attack, and then on 10 is Thomas, Store, and Lex.
This guy's gonna get murdered.
I want to try and charge into combat. So
2, 3, 4. Now, if you mean narratively, you can move 4, which is half your move, and make your attacks.
alright,
If you mean actual
right.
charge,
Oh,
charge is a suboptimal. I kind of a pet pet peeve of mine is how insanely effective charge is in a lot of RPGs. So I nerf the shit out of it.
That's good. Moving there.
Yep. Go
Smack
ahead and
'em.
make your attack rolls, guys.
Does a 3 hit, Kev?
Oh yes, because
AC3
I'm
does
next
hit,
to him.
yes.
Sorry, I couldn't work out who's who. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking I was trying to hit Lex. Right,
Oh
so
boy,
this
Mo,
is
easy.
the silvered,
Friendly fire.
silvered longsword.
2 damage. Oh, nice.
Kevin, quick point of order question. Cast the spell. Am I still able to move? I did not.
You
say
can
anything.
move same
If
thing,
it's
half
too
your
late,
combat
it's too
move,
late.
and then cast.
Okay.
If you, it's fine. We're all learning the game, so you could move, yeah, and then if you're planning moving 2 squares, you go nuts.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry
welcome.
about that.
No, that's okay. Okay, so Thomas, that's a big miss. If you're nat 1 there. Who else? I think someone's got a second
Sure.
attack here, don't they?
As far as a first attack,
Oh, Sora's first attack. Ugh. I mean, there's 2 points of Astonishing Fortune left. You want Astonishing Fortune that?
nah.
I mean, you gotta.
We're gonna
Okay.
murder these dudes.
All right, So let's see. We've got a clothy. All right.
Looks like an A2 Brutette kind of.
I had a soliloquy to answer back to Slim, though.
Go.
by
Yeah.
the way.
Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Everybody dies, you rat-faced bastard, but you'll go first.
Nice. All right. He is shocked by the transformation, and I'm trying to decide if that's what. Yeah, that's his actual action for the turn. Hold on.
He's going to transform back.
Yeah, it is.
No. It's like what would happen is it waits until his turn and then he transforms. So his action. Let me check one thing here, guys. I think that's how I'm going to rule it, because I don't think they can transform like mid-move.
No. I'd agree.
In fact, I'm just going to say that's the case. I'll look it up afterwards, but oh man, he's got great skills too. Okay, so yeah, that's what he does. He turns like as if he's going to attack, and then his body is shaken with convulsions as he inadvertently transforms, or at least unwillingly transforms back to his human form. And he kind of his beady little eyes wide, looking at all of you guys in shock, trying to figure out what the hell just happened. That is the end of the turn, I think, guys, because he doesn't have any action. So, Mo, you are still in charge of initiative. Everyone decide what you're doing this round. And then Mo, oh boy, things are not going Slim's way. Beat my 8.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You guys are all acting before Slim goes, so go right ahead, guys. I'm assuming that everyone's going to be rolling some attack rolls here. Excellent job with it. Grim, you're up first. Store, oh my god. This sword is weighted all wrong for you.
It is, I'm going to use the.
I get a stab though, I think.
I use my Astonishing Fortune one.
Grim,
Okay,
that is a
one
hit.
left.
Okay.
Store, that is a hit.
2 damage. Silver.
2 damage, nice. Jesus Christ, it's a shame this session didn't take place in March. This feels more appropriate.
Well, that's what I said. It's like an Et2 Brutette.
Yeah, it is.
Lex, that is a hit as well. Holy shit, guys.
I did 8 to him.
Yeah, I just took it away from him. That's amazing.
Yeah, all right. I wasn't sure if you had seen it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lex,
that's going to be
holy
close.
smokes. Okay.
Right, everyone.
It is not rolling.
Lex hits again. It may have prompted you for a modifier. You just got to hit OK on the modifier.
Oh, but
Oh,
only
okay.
one.
I don't think I have there's no modifier.
No modifier. No. 12
Well-
is not going to be a hit. No.
No.
1
that's
point
fine.
left.
Back here, you rat-faced bastard.
Okay.
Everybody should start calling him that.
This is round 5 right now, so we don't have favored attacks. All right, on his turn, he is
Hang
going.
on, I haven't gone yet.
Oh, you haven't gone. Go ahead.
I was just waiting while everyone else did their.
Yep. That's a hit.
That's it.
That's a hit.
And that is. Hang on, No, sorry,
Oh,
wrong one.
That's okay. Well, damage is it's possible. Slim may go down. He does.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, you guys. Oh
No,
my
yeah, I hit
god.
the wrong one there. It should have been a D8, but yeah, if it takes him down, it takes him down.
Yeah. Yeah, that is enough. Okay, so he yeah, in his human form as well too. Doesn't have to transform back. Gets stabbed in all these different directions and then drops down dead. Now we're going to talk about what you guys find in his possession as well. Next session in more detail. But let's see here. But there is something in his pocket that is of interest to you.
What it's got in its pockets is.
What it has is a note. And the note reads, Slim, I presume the, quote, slight problem, end quote, you mentioned in your last report has been dealt with. We can't have any surprises interfering with the speaker's public audience. Those not of our making, at least. Duvessa has been doing a better job of courting public opinion than I anticipated. Bring a score of your best into town and come see me. We will need to act more decisively if I'm to be assured of claiming her seat at the head of the Council of Speakers. And at the bottom, the Grim, you can recognize this. You don't know whose it is, but there is an arcane mark. A sigil left by a wizard. And that is where we will leave our session, guys. So, congratulations on dropping Slim. Wow.
Wow, two big moments today, guys. We actually did some things.
You are going to get XP for the terrific role-playing with the crowd there, guys. That worked out really, really well.
In fairness to this adventure, who writes leaves incriminating evidence like that to other people?
Well, the thing is, you know what? Like, you kind of have to. Like, it's a role-playing game. It's not.
Yeah.
Like, I've had someone one time who tried to use like what was it? Pascal's wager as argument. Like, well, you know, it's the argument. The most likely, the easiest explanation is most likely. I'm like, why do you play role-playing games? Like,
Yeah.
I get like there's a gradation of the stuff, but like, what the fuck do you play for then?
That's fair.
Jeez.
I can imagine this wizard has a cloak and tends to monologue. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This guy's not.
Well, it's,
So you have
the
to trick him
tropes
into
make it fun.
monologuing.
the thing is, there's not like a directory of wizards' marks that you can go to identify this. There's no, you don't know whose this is.
Yeah. Well, even so, like writing a letter like that, he's
wizard
just carrying
pages.
it around in his person.
Well,
Where else would he
that's
put it?
assuming he's not using someone else's mark as a way of disguising it. So.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
Yeah.
You actually can't.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, cool.
yeah. In Forgotten Realms, there's an in-canon explanation for if you try and do that. The goddess of magic actually intervenes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like there's actual rules for if you try and pass off someone else's. A wizard mark is inviolate in.
She's also like the goddess of notaries and. Like,
Exactly.
that's what it's like.
Okay. It's 5. Okay, so guys, you defeated a total. For those who are fighters, everyone's first level, I think, still, right? 3, 5. So that means you defeated 8 hit dice of creatures this session. So you get 80 XP. Cola cast a spell. Excuse me, a spell. So I think you get XP from that as a cleric as well. And
do I get it for each spell, or does that's I get a base amount if I cast a spell?
no, 80, not 880, Tom. Optimistic though.
You get an amount for casting any spell as a cleric.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you also get for your using your divine powers.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, and I can tell you what that is in a sec here. So the amount, because they reduced it in the 90s printing, and I'm happy to give you the bigger version. So you get 100 XP for each granted power you use, like command, and you get 100 XP per spell level for each spell cast to further your ethos. Healing yourself in combat, I think, is very much in Coralon's, warehouse or wheelhouse. All right, so then let's talk about XP.
Coralon.
Oh, not
Isn't it
Coralon. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of
Clank-
Clankaden. Thank you.
Yes.
Coralon, it's heresy. Oh, hold on here. That is times 5 plus that plus. All right. I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll divide by 6 because Arlen was here for the first half of the session. Okay, so guys, you gain 225 XP. That's before, if you have a high prime requisite, you will gain 10% bonus on that. But it's 224 is the XP that you gain from today's session.
And we get 10% on the 80 as well, presumably.
You do, yes. If you've got a strength higher than 16 or 16 or higher, then you get 10% on top of that too. Yeah, so that would be 250? No, 246 if you've got high X prime requisite. So, awesome. Oops. I lost chat here. So, for those listening at home, bear with me a moment while I reconnect. Whoop. Come on, you.
312 altogether for me. Did we do the Astonishing Fortune? XP as
Oh,
well?
yes. How much? There's only, what? There's 2 left?
Only one left.
1 left. Okay, so then that is... Hold on. That's about 10 more. So, yeah, 10 more XP. Okay. So for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for Chapter 4 of our Legacy of the Crystal Shard campaign. Did anyone ding, incidentally? No one hit level 2 yet, right?
No.
As always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. I've also had quite a few questions about the house rules we use, and what I'll do is I don't have it in there right now, but I'll add a link in the description of the video to the house rules that we're using for this particular campaign. In addition, you can reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings. You can also find me by email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com. You can also find a link in the description of this video to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where we have a channel dedicated to this campaign and every other campaign we run on the channel, as well as a bunch of other things. Like there's an AD&D one, there's a Starfinder one, there's a one about our dogs and pets. There's one about streaming. So if you've got questions about playing online or playing with Roll20 or whatever, there's a really good channel where there's a bunch of great advice for different tabletop, virtual tabletop options, as well as hardware and things like that. In addition, in the description of this video, there is a link to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. That is a charity initiative that benefits SOS Children's Villages International, a really amazing organization that benefits over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children in over 130 countries around the world. At the time of recording, this is right in the, as you can tell from the mid-session break, I suppose, this is right in the middle of the COVID crisis, or COVID-19 crisis, the folks at SOS Children's Villages International unfortunately have not escaped being affected by that, and there's a couple of their villages now that have had people test positive for the coronavirus. So I can appreciate this is a very difficult economic time for everybody, but if you do find yourself in a position to want to support the channel, then I would encourage you to click through, learn about the Heroes Save Villages campaign, and consider making a donation. Any donations that are made go directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel, none of it goes to any other middleman. It just goes to help them to provide the services they provide for the kids who benefit from those services. So. Last but not least, I want to thank my players. So guys, on an Easter Sunday, taking time out to come and return to the Icewind Dale and down your first boss too. Holy shit. Well done, guys. So Andrew, Mo, Brandon, Hobbs, Dave, and Arlen, who's departed for his Easter celebrations, thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I had a blast. Can't wait to see you again. Next weekend is 2 sessions of Crystal Shard. Holy smokes.
I should be able to make both now for the Plague Stone finished earlier this week. So.
Excellent. Fantastic. And then hopefully after next session, we may see some people get some levels and find out what's going on with this note. So, until next time, for those listening at home, again, thank you so much for joining us. I see, oh, great, we got William, Brian, Hobbs is in chat, Mark's in chat, thanks, guys. George, oh, George had to miss it. He was happy Easter to you too, and any of the players as well too who weren't able to join us. A big, if you're celebrating Easter, happy Easter to you. Otherwise, I hope this finds everybody healthy, safe, and weathering the current crisis well. We'll see you back with more of our Quarantine Crusaders on Saturday. I'll be posting the... Oh, and again, I guess last thing, if you do enjoy this session, if you do want to make sure to hit the next one, be sure to hit subscribe, hit the bell icon on the video here, and you can find on the community tab of the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel the schedule for every session, for every week. Yeah, that's about it. So guys, again, players, thank you so much. Viewers, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again very soon. Until we see you again, happy gaming.